I give a straight,
No hands, no hats, I don't know what to think about that.
I'm into the points, but they're not your average points.
Madam 5BAH, Madam 5BAH.
Hey guys! It's MadameWario and OdinSpack.
Hey guys.
And we are back from the Stacked Game Marathon 2022. We're here for a recap. I've done this every time we've had an SGM so far. This was the third SGM, and as it's becoming an annual thing, it's the only one this year, so I'm excited. It's been a year since we've talked about...
Hey, we're doing it another week, right?
No. It's been a year since we've talked about an event like this, which it doesn't really seem like it was a year ago, like the last one.
Yeah, it was a year ago.
That doesn't feel like it was in October to me for some reason.
Last year it was October 22nd to the 24th.
Yeah,
so
it was like really close to being...
Last year you would have been doing your stream recap on this day.
I would have.
Last year.
Yeah, so... Well, I did it the day
after.
I did it the day after the stream, and I'm doing it 2 days after this time, so it might be the same day as last time. I'm not really sure. But I want to start by, first and foremost, to my community in particular, thanking you guys for being there. I loved seeing every single one of your usernames there. It's kind of like, I've said this at the past couple events, but it's very heartwarming to see your own community there, because it's almost like when you're in a show and your friends or your family come to see you. It really means a lot. So it meant a lot to me personally. I know it meant a lot to everybody who was creating content for that weekend and working behind the scenes, to have such a pleasant and wonderful audience there. So thank you guys for being there, and just in general, just showing up. Like, that means the world in itself. But so many of you donated and participated in the event, raising money for charity. Again, all the money was raised for Stream for a Cause. They were working with an organization called Charity Gaming that puts video game consoles into children's hospitals to help them through their treatment. So we were able to help nearly $10,000 worth in donations for game consoles, so it was an incredibly successful weekend. Many things factored into it, and we're just very proud and very honored and humbled by your generosity. So thank you so very much, first and foremost. And that's to everybody, not just my community, but to everybody. I really appreciate it. Wow, I'm going to take over Odie's face.
No hands, no hats, I don't know what to think about that.
That's what happened.
I'm into the points.
Thank you so much, B-Booey, for the sub, and for Prince
I was
Hedgehog
lurking
for
for
the sub
some of the
earlier.
Stacked Game Marathon, but I miss seeing Boo Boo all weekend, and we get to see Boo Boo and Udine. Sick. Recap as we partake in the BA hing.
Boo-boo.
Boo-boo, huh? Well, thank you so much. All the bots to you guys for the subs.
No hands,
Thank
no hats, I
you
don't know
so
what to
very
think about
much.
that.
And thank you for the hype train. Let's go. Narasonic, thank you for the sub. Thank you so much.
I didn't read.
I don't know why I didn't
As
read
you
it.
can see, when two people
For some
are
reason,
relaxing
I'll
on
read
the
it in a
bed,
second here.
a fire starts, and we're catching on fire. What?
Back behind it, like,
What?
hey.
As you can see, when we had such a hype SGM, a fire starts, and MW and Odie's bedroom is catching on fire.
Oh my god. Thank you so much,
I give
Scott,
a
man.
straight.
Thank you so very much,
No hands, no hats, I don't
PTM.
know what to think about that.
I love you guys so much.
But they're
Thank
not
you
your
for all
average
your
points.
support.
Ayo Cheetah, Madam 5, what's up?
Ayo,
Ayo,
Cheetah.
Cheetah. Wow, Siri, way to screw that one up. Ayo, Cheetah.
Hey, what's up?
He doesn't say, "Hey, what's up?" You messed it up. How could you? I'm gonna try this again. Ayo, Cheetah.
I don't know what he said.
He just goes, "What's up?"
What's up?
It's really not that hard to remember. We've literally been saying this the entire
I thought
weekend.
there was another
and
word to
No,
it.
no.
Well, you should get before you keep going on my case. You should see what Narusonic message said.
All right, I'm gonna read Narusonic's message. Who this am I seeing? This is MadameWario, or is this Big Bobo? I can't tell the difference. It's almost as if they're the same person. Congrats on SGM and everyone who worked hard on the team. Thank you so much, Narusonic. And it is almost like they're the same person, right? Who could it be? Thank you so much. I meant to say this. I don't know how many of you stuck around for the very end of the marathon where we did kind of our credits and thank yous. It was mostly Odie because it is his event that he was crediting everybody, so I was only on there for a short period of time to just say my thank yous, but I missed like 10 things that I was going to say, and I think
I missed 10 things too.
you know, and that was one of them. I really wanted to say thank you to everybody for hyping up and being so invested in the interviews and the in-between content. That was one of my main responsibilities with SGM this year, was filming, editing, and then preparing those interviews for everybody who signed up to have an interview at this year's SGM. I also made one skit, and I have to give props to Snack Attack 8 who made the other skit. That was fabulous. So that together we collectively made some of this in-between content before the event. During the event, there was work being done to make in-between content by Zombie Juice, who is the head of Stream for a Cause, and Mintius, who is also a member of the Stream for a Cause team, which were fantastic too. So that was kind of like the in-between post-production, I guess you could call it, content.
Yeah, we ended up playing all those on the last day. So.
Yeah. So I really want to thank you for your enthusiasm, because I got so excited every time one of those interviews played just to see how people would react, and the skits too. It was just so much fun to do that ahead of time.
It was really cool. You did a good job.
Thank you so much. It really meant a lot to me to have you guys very, very into it. I need to say, or I guess we need to say hi to everybody who's in chat before we get too far ahead of ourselves. So, hello, Prince Hedgehog, Stardom94, Armand 2017, Power to Mario.
Scottman895.
Hold on, I'm reading
sorry,
PTM's
my
message.
bad.
I have a system, don't worry.
Well, then I won't.
He's like, I'm
when
done,
you said
I'm
both
done,
of us
no.
read it, I was
No,
like, oh,
I
she's
meant
letting
we
me
are
say
gonna
something.
say hi. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm just gonna sit back here and wait.
I'm sorry. Thank
A
you.
hype train, you say? Well, it's a perfect time to remind myself what the 150-bit
Oh my
alert
god.
is.
Thank you so much, Psycho. I cannot stay on here unless you are on after work, but well done, Team SGM. Thank you so much, Power to Mario. Scottman895, welcome, Buddy Bro. We also have Toad in Wonderland. Master Starman, thank you so much, you two, for being here. It was wonderful to have PTM, Toad, Master Starman, all part of the team that made content for SGM. Narosonic51, thank you again. We also have TwitchNick022. Thank you for being here. Shliam in the house. Welcome. Scott, man, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes!
Thank you so much for those
Worry
bits.
not, my children, for the light that will radiate from me and my flower crown will touch the hearts of all of you as well. My beauty is a beauty to be shared. Thank you.
Oh my god. The flower crown lore. It'll never end. It'll always live on forever. Thank you so much, Scott, man. Thank you so very much. Pixel, Big Pixel Plume, And Mega Freak 400, 2 of the art team hype members, who also had content over the weekend. You know, I had to slow down this alert and play it back over and over, transcribe it improperly for the one dono. Oh my god. How ridiculous. I thank you, Pixie.
Thank you, Pixie.
Thank you, Pixie. That's all I can say. Mega, I've been watching your Splatoon 3 run, since last night, because it's a long run, so, like, I had it on last night, I turned it on again today. I'm not finished with it yet, but that's the one I've had on. I'm just kind of going through and trying to watch everything I missed with chat and rewatch some things that were just hilarious with chat while it's still there. I should give a heads up, anybody who wants to see those videos with chat, definitely go to the Twitch channel. It's all on the link tree. The SGM link tree is still live. It will stay live forever, so like you'll always be able to look at the Twitch or easily get where you need to go with all the SGM accounts. But
I don't know if the Twitch chat saves forever though.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
If you want to
so
see it with Twitch chat, you gotta see it. I mean,
watch it sooner rather than later.
Sooner rather than later.
All of the VODs will go on YouTube, but they won't have the chat. So if you're interested in like seeing what was going on in chat, because let's be chat is like hilarious. Like I love the content that happens as a result of just everybody being there live. Then you definitely want to watch those VODs before the chat gets taken away by Twitch. Psycho Nacho Man, thank you so much for being here and for the bits again. And for all your support over the weekend, everybody, thank you so very much. Who else did I miss in here? I'm still scrolling. Turn of the Drew, welcome. Shaliam, welcome. Thank you guys so much for this
Pink Eagle Soaring.
level 3 hype train, by the way. Pink Eagle Soaring, welcome on in. Gosh.
You gave double shoutouts to Shliam.
Did I give double shoutouts to Shliam? It's okay, because sometimes I forget Shliam entirely, so
well,
there you go. I'm making up for the...
for the 0 with the 2. So.
Yo, I got 2 hellos! Yo, Yoshi95, welcome!
Hey.
Oh, man. Yeah, I just... We're very honored to have the community that we have. Anyway.
I like that that's just called The Mask.
It's just The Mask.
Like,
that's it.
That's
the whole thing.
That's The Mask.
Everybody knows.
You guys know?
That's The Mask. Well, I've been talking and talking. You want to say some things?
Well, you know, it was a pretty crazy weekend. You know, I had a lot going on. It was really cool to see everyone in chat. I didn't get to read a lot of chat. Well, we're gonna wait. I'm curious to see how this gets read.
Oh no! Siri might just be like, no.
She might just...
I think she literally said no.
Yeah, Siri said no.
Siri said no.
I'm sorry.
Worry not, my children, for the light that will radiate from me and my flower crown will touch the hearts of all of you as well. My beauty is a beauty to be shared. Thank you.
You are the one that entered yourself into the drawing, proceeded to win the drawing, then flaunted your crown, did a huge speech in Old English, then waited a minute, then thanked yourself with 7.
7 exclamation points. Oh my god, thank you so much, Psycho. In case you guys don't know the origin of that, I want to share it right now for anybody who's like, what is this flower crown bit? If you saw the skit, you know, it's all coming from a source of a giveaway at SGM 1. It was the very first SGM.
One. Last year in March.
Last year in March of 2021, we had the first stacked game marathon. Thank you guys so much for the hype train. I love you all.
I can't do a heart.
And Zenonia did a creative block where she was going to make a cosplay piece. And she was like... She had several different ideas. She ended up making a flower crown because it was easy enough to fit into a shorter block, and she was able to... She works with Warbler a lot, so she worked with, like, Warbler, and then she was able to decorate the Warbler with flowers and make it into a crown. So the idea was she was making this cosplay piece that ended up being a flower crown that then got given away at the end of the block. There was a giveaway. And of all people to win, the winner was Snack Attack 8, who you saw in the skit if you witnessed that over the weekend. If you didn't witness it, it will be up on the YouTube channel soon, sometime soon.
It's just his entire SGM identity.
It is. It's become his identity. And what happened was, because of the way Twitch chat works, you know, it all immediately became a meme because of all people to win, Snack wins a flower crown, you know. All of these girls were in the chat, like, desperately wanting this flower crown, but of course Snack wins, and you know he's not going to give it up. So, what happened was he posted all that the first bit of that, the like, my beauty from my flower crown will be shared with all of you. He posted that, and then the response of...
Well, he replied that to somebody?
He replied... Well, wait a minute. He replied thank you to somebody who said congratulations, but because of Twitch chat, it looked like it said at Snack,
yeah,
like he
like
was
he
replying to himself,
yeah.
and it looked like he was thanking himself. So that's where the whole bit kind of escalated and became what it is known as now.
And then Cholsey, I think.
Cholsey was the one who wrote the, like, you're the one who entered the giveaway and proceeded to win the giveaway, because she was one of the girls that, like, really wanted this flower crown. So it was a very funny, iconic moment from the very first SGM that just lives on, but the speech in Old English, that's all Snack. That was all him in chat, just being big snump.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's the origin of that story. So if you guys were lost a little bit, or just kind of like tapping into the bit, like, I don't know what this is, but I'm here for it. Now you know the story. Big Snumpo, buddy bro, how's it going? So the way that we have kind of recapped, it's going to be a little bit different this time, because SGM started as all of us, you know, at home, streaming from our own locations, which for the most part was the case for most of the runners in SGM, but this time we got to have a team in one location behind the scenes, so it was a rather different experience for us, and it was a very experimental experience for us too, to see like how that would work differently, and I'll let you take it away on that. But
well, like I was saying before we had the big bits, thanks again. It was really crazy for all of us to be in person, but it was really nice. Stream for a Cause was very grateful, or not very grateful, very generous. I think that's the correct word. Sorry,
yes.
We're grateful.
We're very grateful. You all were
but
so generous.
They provided like our food, our lodging, snacks, and they also helped us get the space at Albion College, which thankful to them as well for letting us have that space.
We should probably just talk about who the sponsors were too, like that.
Well, I'll get into that.
Okay,
we can get into that after, but I just want to say that real quick.
Yeah.
So you know, it was really nice for them to do that for us. So it was, you know, the two of us, Bill the Fajita, Cholsey91, Praise Scooter, and then the two members of Stream for a Cause, which is Jobby Juice and Mintius Fox. So there's 7 of us all together, all up there. And you know, first night was really cool, like getting everything set up and like, oh my goodness, we're all together. And you know, it went from being broadcast from my bedroom and presumably Bill's bedroom, or
in a different country,
in a different country, by the way, to now we had like this really cool space to work with, and it was really cool going there and seeing the college. It was really neat, and like, you know, it felt like a con weekend again.
It did.
So you know, like,
it felt like a con weekend, but we were responsible for the con.
We
were
responsible for the con, for sure.
It was kind of a cool twist on what we're used to in that type of weekend.
So I did mention the college. So Stream for Cause also helped us to get a couple of sponsors for the event. So one was Albion College, who again provided this space for us to use.
They have an esports program, so they're esports.
And it's only been around for like 2 years.
Yeah,
so
it's not very old
new.
at all. They were essentially who was sponsoring us through the weekend. So I know we got a couple raids throughout the weekend that was from Albion College Esports.
Yeah.
That's why, because they were one of our sponsors.
Yeah, so they sponsored us there, and so we had some really sick internet setup. So like, we didn't drop a single frame all weekend, and everything was able to look real nice and everything like that. We had a nice looking backdrop and everything. There were a few complications. It was well,
it was definitely a learning experience.
It's a college, and you know, there's a lot of students there.
I'll be real. I will be real that the pros and cons are. Pro was we had the facility that had the, you know, internet for, I don't know how to describe this, but like perfect, incredible internet for running the event where you knew there wasn't going to be a hiccup with that. It's also a lab of computers that are all gaming computers, so they're very powerful, like very reliable. Nothing is old. Everything's new.
Anything you needed tech related, like we pretty much had access to. We did still have to bring our own computers to run things, but that was fine because I was comfortable on my own setup anyway. So
it was a nice. It was a nice space too. It was a very like. It wasn't like too cramped or too.
No, we had a lot of room in there.
Like the noise wasn't bad, or like the acoustics weren't bad or anything like that. So it was a nice space for that. The cons. It was a college, and there are a lot of college students, and they were college kids.
They were gamers. And they got intense, and
they got very
intense
pretty loud
sometimes.
In there.
So that was really like the downside to that, but it's okay.
I think that
it was a learning experience.
We just had
we didn't know. So.
You know, we kind of had two different impressions going into it. Like I thought we were going to have like an entire space rented out, but then we kind of learned not too long before the event it was going to be a shared space. But you know, you can be respectful in a shared space, that's fine. But I think when push comes to shove, ideally we would need the whole space to be rented out for the event, because that's just how this would work a little bit better for, I think, all of our brains behind the scenes, because it did get depending on how you work, you know. I'm typically okay in a chaotic environment. He typically is not. So if you do not work well with a lot of chaos around you, it's not going to be the ideal setup. And what I will say for me, and this really didn't have anything to do with that at all, for me, I am one of those people that I set up my stream about, I don't know, like an hour or so before I go live, and if I don't, I kind of go into like panic, like, oh my god, I need to get set up, even though I have the same setup every time. But when you are on a different computer, it's like I forget everything I've ever known about OBS or a computer or running a stream ever, and it just different like equipment and setup. It would have been nice for me, I think, to have like almost like a dress rehearsal practice run on a different setup for the event. Because I just, you know, everybody works differently. Everybody's going to organize even something as small as like the windows on a monitor differently than the next person. We're all going to like just view things a little bit differently the way we organize it. And so for me, it's like, I wish that it's like, I wish I would have had my computer there, but it wasn't really necessary to do that. So I wish I would have just like gotten in there and like practiced like just before, but there wasn't really time for that. So that's something that we probably could work out for a future event. But what?
Nothing.
Okay, you can talk. You don't. Are you being snarky with me? I'm just like trying to show my viewpoint.
I am being a little bit snarky.
Okay, well, now that you're done being awkward, you can continue.
Oh my goodness. I just wanted to say thanks to our other sponsor as well, which was Rose Colored Gaming.
Yes.
They provided us some prizes, which we still got to give out. We haven't done the drawing for it yet, but they gave us these really cool stands for various Game Boys. Like anything that, I think except for the Game Boy Micro, like anything that pretty much had a Game Boy name, there was 5 different ones. And they were all these like different colors. They were their vibrant hues. So like you could have, so like there was like a pink and a green and a yellow and a blue and I don't remember.
It was all the colors of the
red,
rainbow. It was really
maybe.
cute. It looked like I think there was a red in there.
I think so.
I think those are still part of the giveaway segment too. Like we have some post SGM giveaways that like winners will be coming for.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. We haven't actually drawn those yet.
So you could still win if you donated. You could still win.
You could still win, but so yeah, those are really cool, and they gave us a promotional code. I know a couple people, us included.
Yeah, so we did actually.
From there,
I've been looking to get something from there for probably about a year now, and just like because I didn't know because I don't have a lot of display space right now, I kind of wanted to get something I would use now, as opposed to like in a future space, which kind of kept me from getting anything a year ago. So I figured like, well, now's the time, because now, you know, they're a sponsor. It was very generous of them to like provide prizes and everything for the event. And I ended up getting a stand, for my Switch Pro controller. I have all the Splatoon 2 Switch stuff because I love the aesthetic of it. Now I know that sounds a little like fake news because I'm not like a Splatoon gamer, but I just love the hot pink and lime green like aesthetic.
It is really cute.
Everything matches. I want everything to match, so I always know what's mine, kind of, especially like in a big group. I'm gonna know all my stuff matches. So they had a stand that was like a Splatoon 2 stand that I got for my controller, because it's always out anyway. It's always just sitting on my TV stand where all my game stuff is set up. So also I wanted to say hi to Kaboomek. Thank you so much for the love. I understand, work is work, you know, what can you do? But all the videos are available on the Twitch channel. I was saying that earlier, right now with chat and everything, so you can feel like you're a part of the event. But
if you want, you can deep dive it right now. It's just not very organized yet.
Right,
You
yeah.
in theory could go through the VODs.
Oh my god, that's something else I wanted to say. This is just back to this. So for my last run of the marathon was Fall Guys. It was on Sunday evening, and I was wearing like a hot pink top, and I had a green screen behind me, and every time I showed my controller, I caught it like the second or third time I did it. I realized how perfectly I matched my controller, none of which was on purpose, and I was like, this is it. This is the moment. I am matching the aesthetic of my game setup.
It was pretty funny.
It was
We had
pretty
that green
funny.
screen behind us, but we just didn't really.
We
end up
used it
using
twice, and then that was
Yeah,
it.
it was like, you know what? It looks nice, but maybe just leave it like that and not actually put
no. It
anything
was
on the screen.
Whatever, it was fine.
So, but
But-
what else was I gonna say? The beginning of the event, there was a lot of hiccups with tech, and part
Guys,
of that,
I'm so embarrassed.
part of that, honestly.
I'm so embarrassed.
So, being there in person was really cool because there was a lot of people to take over if need be. However, as Bobo said, I kind of work best alone and like just with quieter space. Not that other people aren't helpful, but when I have a bunch of like you know, oh well, Julie's yelling at me right now because she wants me to throw
Well,
her
that's
ball,
okay. You just
so-
have to let Julie be Julie.
Okay, well, anyway, you know, when I have a bunch of different voices and a bunch of different ideas, it can mess with me a lot. And I wanted up at 8 o'clock, which I believe we still did. But I was like, okay, I want to be there at 7 then, because when
Julie,
well,
keep you have to ignore this. Just keep talking.
all right. Anyway, so I wanted to be there at 7 o'clock, but I don't think that was very well communicated, and I got there like a lot later than I wanted to, and I feel like that was kind of just like the start of it, of like some hiccups going on, because I really didn't get to mess with things that I wanted to, and it was just really frustrating. But it all ended up being well. Like I know Mario 3, when we like quickly whipped that together because the Odyssey block ended soon.
It was
I know
so
there were
chaotic.
some issues in there.
It was so chaotic.
And like I know there was issues with the donations and that and our incentives. But you know what? Everything ended up after like the first like 5-6 hours of the event, I would say. It was all smooth sailing from there as far as everything. So it was just really panicky at the beginning, but I'm really glad. The reason I was saying all this is because the first 2 events were from my bedroom, so I was able to wake up, get everything set up, relax for a bit, you know, have breakfast and that, and that wasn't really the case. I did not eat very well the first day.
No one ate very well any of the days.
Well, the first day was really bad.
Zabrag! Also, Zabrag Burger, thank you for the
Points,
sub.
but they're not your average
I love
points.
Zabrag. I'm guessing that you posted, you know, this one when another Xenoblade song was on. I'm guessing. I gotta give you all the bods. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Sabrina.
I'm gonna pause you for a
Alright.
second to go back and say a couple things I wanted to
Sorry, might be.
read of Schlium. Schlium says, college gamers are probably the second worst people alive, second only to high school gamers. There were definitely moments where we felt that way, but I'd say overall it was fine. It was just, again, we would have I think we would approach it differently next time, knowing what we know now. And Schlium also says, for real, you use someone else's computer and it's like, have I ever used a computer before? That is 100% me.
That's me too.
And that's why I was like, I needed a dress rehearsal. Like, I was on Bill the Fajita's computer 95% of the time. I was a big masquerader. A lot of you don't know this. I was talking to a lot of you and you had no idea it was me because I was Bill the Fajita in chat probably 95% of the weekend. Usually when it was me, if you couldn't really tell that it was me, it probably wasn't me. Like, if there weren't 1,000 typos, and if there were 1,000 typos and misspelled words, it was totally me. If there were 1,000,000 letters at the end of certain words, it was me. If it was anything that wasn't completely, like, punctuated or whatever, it probably wasn't me. It probably was not.
We had computers logged into the Stack Game Marathon, mine, Bobo's, Bill's, and Scooter's.
I was
And
Bill
at any point,
a
we're
lot.
not like unlogging out of these things, so wherever we were just typing. And there was a lot of times behind the scenes where I'm on my phone and like the tech computer is logged into like my stuff, and I'm like tagging myself in like Discord messages because
was
I
so
know
ridiculous.
who's at the tech computer will
was
see
so
it.
funny.
But it was, it was really confusing for maybe some people, like
So,
other people. behind
his
the
computer was the tech computer.
Yeah.
So anything OdinSpack or, well, I think Stack Game Marathon.
The Twitch chat said Stack Game Marathon, but anything else
But
was logged
everything
into me.
was OdinSpack. On Bill's computer, that was the streaming computer. So anytime we had a run, we used Bill's computer. So that was where I was a lot of the time, just to get out of the way for everybody. So I'd go to like the streaming computer when nobody had a run, or I'd go set up something, and then I would just be Bill for like forever. And then Scooter's computer was used for when we needed an extra mic for announcing. He also used it for like his own announcing thing, because why not use your own computer? Nobody else was in there. But there was one time where I was on Bill's computer as Bill, and Bill was himself on his phone, and I was like, hey, can I have somebody come in here and check this? Or no, you said, hey, can you check the audio for this? And he had directed it at Bill, which was me at the time. Bill gets on Discord on his phone and is like, Bill, me? So it says that Bill sent all these messages in Discord. Bill, me? And then I sent, no, Bill, me. And then they're all from the same account. And then it was like, LOL all caps and LUL all caps. And it's like, oh my god, what is this?
Master Starman pointed out a good one where I was like, OdinSpack, come let me in. Because Scooter was the only one in the building. And it was locked. I didn't realize I could walk around.
I would say,
and so it was funny. Like, it's like a crisis of like, just let me in. Like,
I would say like 50% of the time, Odie was at his own computer. 25% of the time, it was Scooter at that computer, and 25% of the time, it was Bill at that computer. So you kind of didn't know who was anybody.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I would be Bill, and I'd see people say like, oh, I think MadameWario would really like that. And I'd have to say, like, she did as Bill, like, because I had no way to react as myself, and I knew whoever was talking would not clue in that I was not.
You know what we should have done?
me.
You know what we should have done? When we were on a different computer, we should have changed our nickname in Discord to who we were.
We should have, but
Like
that was not what happened. We didn't have time for this.
It would
like-
not have taken that long to do, honestly. It really would not have. But, I mean,
Yeah,
with the
a true
exception of me,
example of who's talking.
It wouldn't have worked with me, but...
Yeah, we knew when it was Bill on an account. We knew when it was. I would usually try to say something cringy in chat. Just as Bill, just to be funny. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't know if he ever caught on, but every time Sizz16, he ran the Pico Park block, which I think was one of my favorite blocks of the entire weekend. Every time he was in chat, I would respond to him as Bill and say something like really stupid. Like, I'd be like, wow, you're so cute. Or I'd be like, aw, I love your look. Like, I would just say the dumbest stuff to him. I don't know that he ever responded really, or that he caught on that it was me every single time. I would just be like, hey, cutie. Like, I kept doing this to Sis and to kind of everybody.
And for the record, OdinSpack in Twitch chat was always me because nobody
It's true.
used that computer, and I wasn't even logged into it that long. It was mostly just on my phone, so
Yeah.
nobody stole my identity in the Twitch chat at the very least. Stack Game Marathon, well, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But it was funny. It was the best thing to do, honestly. Like,
It was pretty great.
it
I
made
enjoyed
sense to
it.
us, which was the important part, really.
I had said behind the scenes, we have like a waiting room before we go live into the stream room. I had said in there at one point in time, I was like, my favorite thing to do as a kid and as a teenager, back when AIM was a thing, like I was always on AOL Messenger, AIM Messenger with like all my friends. Well, my favorite thing ever was when somebody else was logged in. I would just message everybody that was online on like my sister or my friends' friend list and just troll, and they would have no idea that it wasn't them. That was my favorite thing to do. So I was like, hey, I get to do this again. It was great. Also, I will note that Cholsey taking over Scooter's Twitch for a while.
When did this happen?
This was hilarious because she was in there masquerading as Scooter. I think 2 messages in, Scooter's like, oh, Cholsey's in there just pretending to be me, so I'm just watching because it's really entertaining. Like 20 minutes later, Cholsey comes up to me and is like, oh my god, I've been Scooter for like 20 minutes. He has no idea. And I was like, yeah, he really has no idea at all. She's like, I don't want him to know. I'm like, well, he already knows. He figured it out immediately.
Also, see you later, Twitch Nick. Thanks
Oh,
for
Twitch
coming
Nick,
on by.
thank you so much.
Thank
I'm
you for the
so
nice
glad you got to be
messages.
part of SGM as well. Thank you so much. And congrats on the giveaway win. I know you won something over the
I
weekend.
think they won the first giveaway.
Did you?
I'm pretty
Oh, that's
sure.
so fun. Well, congrats.
I don't remember what
I think
the
it
first
was. I think it was a
giveaway
print. I
Yeah.
think it was a print by Toch, because I didn't enter any of those because I was like, that's stupid. If I win, I could just call her and be like, can I have one of those prints?
Yeah, I was really hoping to win that Steve and Alex amiibo, so I could have just kept it. The Scooter brought it. He was offering that. He brought that as a prize.
I purposely did not enter the print giveaways for what I just said. I did not enter the Xenoblade giveaway either, for obvious reason. I think just about everything else I entered, but I lost! I didn't win anything! So yeah, congrats if y'all won.
We're sorry, Mega. It's just we had to do that during the event. There was no other way to make sure we were talking on our own computers. So,
Mega, I don't think I ever crossed paths with you behind the scenes because you were always at night when I was sleeping, and usually during the day you were just like in chat. So like, and it would be in the evening. So like, I don't think we ever crossed behind the scenes paths where I could have tripped you up.
yeah, we're not trying to do anything behind trying to impersonate or
No.
There
I
was never.
I didn't
think
try
there
at
was
all
any
to be
of that, yeah.
Bill. I was just me
Yeah.
under Bill's name. But there was no way to personally escape it in Discord because that's whose computer I was on. So every time I would do a stream, it would look like it was Bill, but it was actually me. But anyway, I just really had a lot of fun by the end of it. Just
Yeah, it was
you
great.
know, it was just really fun to have that set up with real people. We all obviously had our funny insiders between us.
I
but-
will say, as the weekend went on, I think it just got easier to do. Like I said, it was pretty chaotic at the beginning. The second day, I really enjoyed my morning because it was very quiet. But there was some stuff I think that went on that day. But the last day, I think I had honestly, I think was a great time. I ran tech the entire time because I felt really comfortable doing it, and it was nice to just chill there, get everything set up, not to stress somebody else out with not knowing what they were doing. I tried my best to explain all the tech that was going on to Scooter and Bill and Minty when I could.
Sorry, I love
You're
this
good.
song.
But it's at the end of the day, like we were saying, when you're using someone else's computer, it can be more difficult. I know where everything is on
Right,
it.
it was
We would have needed
always a
like
learning
Boba
curve.
was saying, we would have needed a dress rehearsal where you know,
We
like
just
there was like a
practice.
week of practice, like just trying to get everything working the same. Like I'm
Even
looking
a-
at her Discord setup right now, and I'm like, there's no way I could do that.
Right.
Like there's like a million things that
Even
I
a
don't know where
day,
they are.
even just a day of like getting used to like each other's setups. But you know what was nice though is because we were in a computer lab, I did have a computer in the corner that I logged into, and I stayed logged into the entire weekend, so I was able to type and monitor things as myself under my own accounts, because that you know, a lot of the time when I was in the chat it was me. I don't really think anybody got on that computer much besides maybe like 2 other times, and it was for the same reason I was on it, like to monitor things. So like it was really nice to have that, because then I could kind of set that up the way I wanted, and I knew I wasn't messing with anybody else's particular setup. It was just more so the streaming stuff that is where you get tripped up, like, oh god, where do I find this? Where is this on somebody else's PC? But I think, like, you know, so it was, I was lucky enough to have like a computer designated for myself anyway, even though it wasn't my personal one from home.
No, you did at least get a space
I
where you
did
could
get
log
a
into your
space.
stuff and do what you need to do behind the scenes. Shout outs to everyone behind the scenes, by the way,
Seriously.
doing stuff like Weaver. Who,
Oh
like,
my god.
she did all of the tracking. Like
Weaver?
there was points where she had to, you know, sleep and
She
like
literally, like-
eat and stuff, but like besides, you know, things that were keeping her alive, she was tracking all the donations and what incentives they went to. So like, huge thank you.
Weaver was so incredibly helpful.
her for doing
We
that.
both, everybody wants. We all want to give a huge, huge thank you to Illa Weaver, because she was like a rock star behind the scenes. Like anything you don't know what's going on, she does.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I get very like flustered, especially. I love announcing, but for some reason it just trips up my nerves. Like I just get so nervous that I'm gonna forget something, or I'm gonna say the wrong thing, or I'm gonna not be reading the right thing, or I'm gonna repeat something that's already been said. You know, we all know I'm already good at embarrassing myself on stream. So like, just to be able to have somebody that like was just there all the time, knew what was going on, was so helpful. And she stepped away for a minute, and it was actually like nice because I was able to learn a little bit more about like what exactly she was doing to track things. But oh my god, she was so organized and like so on top of it. Like huge shout out to Weaver, because she was definitely one of those like voiceless, incredible presences behind the scenes, for sure.
And Mega brought up something that I thought about after the event, and it wasn't on purpose. But yeah, I definitely took for granted that everyone knew what they were doing, and that wasn't on purpose. It's just the last couple weeks before the event, I was like, I don't have all this stuff done. And,
True.
And I was just working on it, and I was like, okay, I'll have notes for everybody. And like, it just kept getting pushed back and back and back, and then like one of the days before, I'm like, I don't know, here's some things that the streamers need to know, and it was like clearly not enough information at all. So like, yeah, for sure. I'm glad everything ended up working out. I'm glad that the timing for most of everything worked out too. Like the event, you know, all the things played. We didn't skip anything.
No, we didn't skip anything.
And,
Everything played.
And everything was roughly on time. Some things I think at most got bumped back half an hour, but we caught up at points. So so like that was great that happened.
I was gonna say that I think like 85% of the time behind the scenes, I would be communicating to runners in Discord or whoever. A lot of the time I was saying the stuff, but it was coming, like he was telling me what to say, or I was just taking it upon myself to answer questions that I knew he couldn't answer right then and there until it was too late. And I think, like Mega was saying, for some of those newer runners, they probably have no idea who I am and don't know that I'm like kind of the other half of him. So they might be like, who is this person telling me to do this that I've never even like, you know what I mean? Like that I don't know is actually like right there next to him, like basically being an assistant. But we just didn't, you know, we had a little bit more of a, because of the in-person stuff, we didn't do what we normally did like the night before.
I think the one thing I would change after this event, and we've done it all 3 events now, but I think in person this would be a lot easier to do, is the tech shouldn't be the same person as like the stage director. that was the problem. Like,
Right.
because they were managing all this other stuff, and then they would also have to talk to other people being like, do you have all of this stuff ready too?
Mm-hmm.
And that was what was...
yeah, definitely.
That was what was getting, like, a little bit... And like, we had done that the past two events, so that's kind of what happened. And we didn't really have the means for that, but...
Now we do, though.
Yeah,
like...
but now we do, and that's something, like, looking forward. We're still learning how this works. I know we've done this 3 times. By the way, I think this... Honestly, I really do think this is the best time we've done it so
I think
far.
so, too.
Like, I think everything flowed very well. I loved the look of it. Transitions were smooth. Audio balance was mostly good. Like, if some blocks are louder than others, it's fine, because, like, it's at least you can still hear everything fine. I know there was issues sometimes during the blocks. You know, that's what we needed more behind the scenes, was more tech people to like be checking out streams, and I wanted to have that. And I just, again, I was so caught up in everything, it just didn't end up happening.
I think it goes back to what we had talked about before, where we needed, like, a dress rehearsal, not just, like, to run things, but also so that those people that were there, like Scooter and Bill, could practice firsthand doing what you do. So, because they were kind of learning as he did it while the event was going. Like, it was not before, so...
And like, in most performances, we needed a tech week where like everyone was brought in, everyone who was part of a block was brought in to test audio, test video, have all that set up, so that when we were ready to like go live, then it wouldn't be an issue.
Right. No, you're good. You're good. Thank you so much, Phoenix Warriors.
I'm
Appreciate the sub.
but they're not your average points.
Very much so.
Happy Tuesday, MW and Odie. Lauren and I are super happy SGM was a success. It was so much fun to watch. Happy 15 months to Grin.
Thank you so very much, Phoenix Warriors. We
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
that. All the bahs to you.
Give you a bah. But one of the one things that it frustrated me, but we got past it, was I tried to have everyone have like these layouts to put their like game, and if they had a webcam to put that in a space, and some people had it, some people didn't have it, some people didn't use it in the right space, like they didn't fill the whole thing, and like that's why I would want a tech week, so I can be like, look, I need you to have this here, so that when we are switching stuff behind the scenes, we don't have to do a bunch of this like video cropping and that. Like that was a lot of the behind the scenes, which honestly, it wasn't the worst. Like it was really,
wasn't that bad.
I had everything set up that it wouldn't be difficult, but it would have been nice for everybody to have basically the same setup, so that it would be very smooth for tech behind the scenes during the event, for it to be fast. So that's one thing, like that's my takeaway. Next time we're having an entire week dedicated to tech. And
I think that also goes back to what we were talking about, how everybody's setup is different, and like, so naturally some people are going to be more perfectionists about it than others, and it's like when you need that like perfectionist edge to be like, no, it has to be like this, like there's no give.
Right, and that's the thing, is because last year we gave everyone the layouts, and in theory was a good idea. However, why I didn't like doing that was because somehow those still ended up being skewed and didn't look right when we imported them into the end. And I wanted everything to look the same, because it's an event, everything is supposed to look the same. Like, it's like people are streaming from different computers and whatnot, but you know, as the viewing audience, like, you expect everything to be to the same level of standard. And that's what I wanted. So like, that's what was really frustrating, is like, we did a different thing than we did last year. It should have been easier, I think, but it ended up just it ended up just being a different issue that now I know.
Now you know what to do.
Now I know
though.
what to do next
so
time.
Like, it worked.
SGM4 is gonna be like so good. It's gonna be amazing.
He's
right?
like, I have to fix the issue from SGM2. So you tried something that I think worked better overall, but now you know exactly what to do for next time.
So it will absolutely be better next time. And you know what? Again, we got through it. It was fine. It was no big deal.
In a nutshell, especially for those of you in chat right now who were just in the audience, who weren't part of like actually like being a runner or something in the event, but you make the event what it is. you can see how much the tech is like insane behind the scenes. And you know, it was a learning process, just not only for that, but just the whole like space and everything, which was really, really cool that we had our own space that we were in this time. But you know, I just want to shout out everybody for, I don't know, for being so hype when chaos was going on.
For sure. Honestly, like I mentioned, I watched some of it back, and really, it's not really noticeable things that were really wrong, like behind the scenes. It showed up well on camera. So really, you're only hearing there was problems because we're telling you.
Right. You got this is the behind the scenes.
This is the hot goss right here.
This is the hot tech goss. I would
Meg-
like to move on to the hot, like, actual talking about, like, runs and stuff goss next, though.
Yeah. Can I quickly say that Mega said it will help that we're not getting married before the next
Yes,
SGM.
that's a huge help.
We were going to...
We did not have the time that we truly needed before this because of that.
I wanted this event to be in May.
And I was like...
And
no.
It was just not doable because, like, well... We got married, so, and I was moving here, so we just ended up doing it in October.
Right.
And who knows, maybe October is just where maybe it's where it should just be.
Well, we won't be getting married, like, again next year, though. Like, here's the other thing, I want to point this out. Because this goes back to my, like, oh my god, we need a dress rehearsal. Outside of, like, Toach being muted at the beginning of Jackbox, that wasn't just her. There were so many people that were muted at, like, the very beginning of their things that, like, I feel like that's when we're like, oh, I need help because I unmuted the wrong thing and I didn't mute the right... Like, there's just a lot of that going on, and you get so nervous, like, right before, like, Zebra was saying, like, you go to announce and you're like a deer in headlights suddenly, and you forget everything you've ever known ever. That's just part of it.
Right. The thing, we had to have people mute their stream when they went live because we had to import it onto the tech computer, and we didn't want the sound leaking it through to whatever was on stream, and then we had to get them to unmute, and sometimes that didn't get communicated, which again would help if there was a tech person and a stage director person, because the tech person could just be like, mute your audio, let me know, and then when it is, they can be like, unmute your audio, and then that's all the communication they have to do with that person. So
right. October is a good month. It is. I wanna move, and we've been talking about tech forever.
I'm sorry. It was just it was a big deal of the event because it was all the behind the scenes stuff.
Right. And I know this is more so like in reference to those who were involved than just the audience, but now you know all the hot goss of that. I kind of want to go through, I've got the schedule up here, and I just wanted to go through the runs that I was able to watch. You know, Odie was probably... Well, he was able to watch probably some more than me. I knew that to be as helpful as I could be to him, that I needed to not wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So he was usually in the space a few hours, 2 or 3 hours before I was, or maybe even more than that, but just like a few hours before I got there. And then it was typically like the two of us and then Scooter. So most of the time when I was there, the tech team, if you want to call me tech, was Odie, Scooter, and me, and then Bill and Jambi and Mintius were kind of more of the overnight crew, which I think Bill was more so the head of that, but then Scooter was also there at night, so Scooter was just like alive and there all the time, Scooter was a champ. Like, I just want to point out, praise Scooter, yo. Unbelievably, like,
Scooter did not
unbelievably helpful. Like, thank you so much, Scooter. Especially, like, we were rooming with Scooter, and there was a time when Scooter and I were asleep, and we just get this insane knock on the door, and we were kind of like in that early morning, like, I'm gonna pretend like I'm sleeping still so that I don't have to get up, and we just like burst out of bed. This was like day one, like burst out of bed and we're like, oh my god, I'm awake, like, and that was it. We just never slowed down from there that first day. But I think it worked really well, and I want to personally thank Scooter for being so incredibly helpful with me, because I feel like I was with him a lot. So thanks, Scooter. Yes.
Thanks to all of them behind the scenes for like driving us around and stuff, because we didn't drive up there. Bill and Chelsea actually picked us up, and so like it was them, it was Jambi, it was Scooter, like all giving us rides around, picking up food
Yeah.
and that. So,
Which-
thanks to all of them for doing
Exactly. Like, which truthfully, we didn't need to go back and forth really more
No.
than like once a day.
that. No, but it was still really helpful.
It was,
like-
but it was very helpful. It wasn't us. It was the, hey, can you get me food? Hey,
Yeah.
can you bring this? Hey, can you go back and do? It was all that like gopher stuff that was so helpful. Like for sure.
There was panic in the morning because the very microphone we're using right now was not at the venue, and I thought it was. And so
This was a miscommunication
so
too.
we had to like we took the Albion like Bob Barker mic that they had.
It was so.
And it was pretty funny.
It was so like big and bulky. It was really funny.
I was told later it was quiet, but then I realized it was just quiet. It wasn't like you couldn't hear me, but it was just quiet compared to the previous scene where the
soft-spoken.
music was really loud.
Yeah.
So when I talked into it, it was fine. So
Also,
I've since listened to that back to make sure it was all good. So
Chris Aquarius, welcome to the stream as
Welcome on
well.
in.
Welcome on in. I want to say though that I think because this is our own personal problem, okay? This is a personal problem between the two of us because we are in the same space a lot or all the time because we're married. He and I both have this problem where we'll think something and we'll think we told the other person about it and we'll just assume they know. And it never like there was never any communication, or it'll be like we'll ask each other, like in the microphone situation, you were like, you're bringing all your stuff, right? And I was like, yeah, I am bringing all my stuff. I brought it all the night before. I had everything ready, like set up, left stuff there. And then I took what I didn't need back with me because the room wasn't going to be locked and nobody was going to be there overnight. So I was like, okay, if we don't need this, I'm bringing it back with me. And I said, do you need my mic? And he was like, no, I don't need it. And I think he thought like right then maybe, or just thought it would be in another
I
room,
just
you
wasn't
know,
really
so
thinking there.
it was
so.
just like that kind of stuff is where you get the hiccups. But I gotta thank the Blue Snowball for saving the event
It did
because
save the streaming portion of
It did.
of our end. Any runs that were run from our end, the snowball came in clutch. So.
if you guys didn't see it in my bonus run, which was the second thing of the marathon, I was the second thing in the marathon,
It's a
the
good
second to last
transition.
thing. The microphone literally fell on my face and knocked me down and everything else going on in the room down in like live during that run because we had the mic like it was on an arm attached to the desk, but the desk was curved, so it wasn't like a perfect latch. It was like a slippery. It didn't work, and it kept falling, and it was like, forget it. We're using a different mic next time. But it was a trip. Let's just say the bonus content was a trip, and that is a good transition into actually talking about the content of the weekend, because the marathon, other than the intro, which I don't know if you want to say anything about the intro at all, we kind of talked about the Bob Barker mic.
I did. I mean, yeah, it was. I had to once I figured out how that thing worked because I had never really messed around with the XLR mic before.
Right.
But once it got working, it was all cool. So the intro was fun doing that. I also had no idea what I was really going to say because I didn't have notes prepared. Because I usually don't have notes prepared when I do these things, and it's honestly on purpose. That's not the ending though. I really should have had more notes than I did, but I probably honestly will save my piece here and probably let you do the rest of this.
Okay.
Just because I do need to get some more work done. If that's
No, that's
all right,
cool.
Bobo.
If there's anything else you want to say though,
Yeah.
like that's totally fine. I just
think this
wanted
would be
to...
a good point to dip, just because
Okay.
I gotta get more of this SGM work done. The videos.
The
If
videos!
anyone wants to see the videos, I gotta get the work on that because it's a non-affiliated account, so it's the videos expire in like a week. So I have to like download everything and get
Yeah.
it all how I want it.
Oh wait,
so-
there she is. We gotta give huge props to Illa Weaver.
Yes.
Seriously,
Shout out to Weaver.
Weaver,
Thank you so
you
much.
saved like all of our
Yeah,
lives.
thank you so much, Weaver.
Thank you so much. Seriously, I
But-
just wanted to say that as she walked in. Love you, Weaver.
Thank you so much, Weaver. But I want to quickly mention the stuff that I was a part of real fast that wasn't tech
You want me to pull
related.
this up?
Well, that's okay. But so obviously I did the intro to the stream, which I feel like people enjoyed that. So
Mm-hmm.
I think like it's fun to stick with a tradition, now that we have a couple of traditions. It's our third time doing it, so I started the marathon how I did, and I ended it how I did, talking and, like, thanking everybody for the event, and thanking everybody because I feel like they deserve it. But then I got to do one run during the event, which was a lot of fun, which I got to do the race the Faxanadu randomizer against Notlob, who created the program. And we had Laws Cards Fan 23.
Oh, he was amazing. He was such a good commentator.
More recently been talking to, not too much, but he's around in the Discord for the randomizer, and I've watched his streams. He was great. He does lots of game show stuff, so if you like Press Your Luck, he's done that on there, and I think he's done like Jeopardy.
He has like the voice for it. Like his voice sounds very familiar. Like I can't describe it. He just has a very familiar voice. Yeah. Even though I don't know him personally.
He does lots of commentary for stuff like the randomizer stuff that you watch, and then like on his own streams he does like game shows and whatnot. So if you like any of that stuff, definitely recommend checking him out.
Yeah.
But like the run itself was a lot of fun. I got so frustrated at the end. You could see me on camera because like I just could not find the final door, and I was still missing an item, but I also knew that there was an item screen I hadn't gone in yet, so I was like, okay, well, it's obviously in there. And so the dev of the game is a little more familiar with where things go because he has to make sure everything works properly in order for the randomizer to work. So I have not done too many screen randomizers before that, but I really wanted to show it off because that only came, we only just, or I guess not Lob, he only just released the screen randomization like a month ago, and it's gone through like 8 different versions in like a month because like just finding all a bunch of things with it. And
he customized it for this event.
And he also customized it for the event by putting a few lines in. There was some I wish I had put in that I just forgot. But
it didn't matter though because it was just such a treat to be like, did I read that right?
Yeah.
Like
there was some funny SGM bits in there. I wish I could have had more in there, but that's okay. But I was really happy we were able to show off the screen randomizer for it because I really think that is like every randomizer has a thing that it's good at. Like there's like one feature you're like, okay, this game wasn't made for this purposely, but like it's a happy accident that it works so well with it. And screen randomizer is like the happy accident it works so well with randomizer, like or with Faxanadu randomizer. Like Link to the Past, like the item shuffling with like the Moon Pearl and stuff, like that's like a happy accident that works so well. So like Faxanadu, like the screen rando is so good, and I was really happy we were able to show it off. Because I don't think it's been shown. I don't think the screen rando has been shown in any kind of event so far. So we got that world premiere race. So
I wanted to tell you too because I forgot to tell you at the time. There were a couple of college students and college kids that were really invested into the randomizer because they were like, "What is this? I've never seen this before." Like there were few and far between college gamers that were actually like into retro stuff, but the ones that were very interested in it, and they were asking, they're like, what is this, what do you have to do? And I was like, yeah, I wish I had more answers for you, but
admittedly we played a game that it came out a year before I was born.
Right.
It's very old, and it's
From
kind of one of those hidden gems. It's a more known hidden gem on the NES, but it still is a very hidden gem where not a lot of people know about it.
Right.
So, like, for it to not even be, like, how it's properly supposed to be played
I know, it's
might
like,
be a little
I
confusing.
Can't explain this, but
that's why I'm glad we had Laws on commentary, because anytime, like, we got something, he explained why we needed it. And, like, anytime we were in an area, he explained, like, oh, this is where this normally is. And, like, it was nice that he was able to help use that commentary to explain to the audience and to get them excited.
Yeah,
and
he
like
was
everyone
really
at the
great.
end
He
knew,
was
like,
awesome.
oh, hey, we're looking for those items, and people knew that.
They
like,
knew what, because
so
I
like,
had no idea what was going on. So, like, him saying, like, we're looking for this is what we need, was like, okay, good. I know, and he was explaining it, like, along the way.
So, thank you so much, Laws, for doing an absolute killer
unbelievable
job on there.
Liam, you'd never heard of it before Odie streamed it. It's just like it looks very like a classic, I don't know, a classic platformer. Like,
if you like Zelda 2, play Faxanadu. If you don't like Zelda 2, play Faxanadu because I always say the easiest thing to say is it's a better Zelda 2. So if you already like Zelda 2, then you'll like Faxanadu. And if you didn't like Zelda 2, there's a chance you might like Faxanadu because it's, I feel, a better version of that. It's not one-to-one, it's not like that, but it is the closest comparison I could give to that game. Like, when you look at it, it kind of looks like that. You know, or it almost looks like kind of like Castlevania a bit. Like it's got like that kind of energy to it. So, I love the game. So
No, Sonic, I'm with you. It was hype, even though I have no idea what's ever going on with that game. It was hype, and I want you to open at least something before you go.
Okay.
There's still merch available, by the way, from the event. Odie's gonna show this off, but I want to take a moment first of all to thank everybody in our SGM crew behind the scenes, the runners, tech, all of you involved. You all pitched in to get this gift for Odie, and I tried to communicate like this was not me. This was like the group of gamers behind the scenes. Thank you all so much for doing this for him, and we're going to get a little preview of the merch for anybody interested. 100% of the profits go to Stream for a Cause. So if you missed your chance to donate, that's probably the best way to give to the cause currently. And you get a cool shirt to represent for next time.
Yeah.
So
Bobo was like, "Hey, I'm going out to go do some work. I'll be back
yeah,
later."
work!
And it turns out she was talking to everybody and organizing
plotting
this gift for me. So I thank you so much, Bobo. Appreciate it.
No problem. But
And,
don't thank me. Thank the crew.
I am. That's one. And then two, thank you so much to everyone in our SGM group. If you pitched in or if you didn't, I really do appreciate it so much. So thank you. But let's look at the gifts.
Let's go. Oh, it's so cute.
So this is the crew neck.
We
right?
haven't opened any of this. All of it showed up over the weekend, so we didn't get to like wear any of it on stream. But
There we go.
there it is. There's the crew neck. This is the charcoal.
That's the charcoal.
So.
Also, thanks Pixie for making this design.
I'm sorry, the color looks kind of weird. I had all this like perfect lighting over the weekend.
It
and
looks
now we're
very
back
good
here.
on this shirt.
It looks good, even though it looks dark on camera.
It's actually orange.
It's not orange.
That's,
it is not orange.
You get what I'm saying, guys?
Yes.
No, it's not actually orange.
Oh. Mega thought I got hacked. Can I just explain? This is a fun behind the scenes moment. I put together this group. It was just a group Discord with everybody who was part of SGM, or hopefully everybody that I had on my list anyway. I was like, hey, I made the name of the group not Odie. So not Odie was the name of the group, because whenever my family like organizes birthday gifts for somebody, we make a group chat and it's not Bobo, you know, not Toch, whoever's not supposed to be there, that's the title of the group. So I just made this group called Not Odie, and I sent it to everybody, and I got so many messages that were like, is this you? What is this? I was getting like texts. I had like 7 texts come in at once, like, did you send some weird group on Discord? And I'm like, yes, I promise it's real. So I didn't think that like, oh, maybe my own family's like personal way of communicating will not be known by anybody else. I didn't factor this in, so I should have named it like Odin's Gift or something, but even that sounds strange, so it was pretty funny.
I don't want to go through all the rest because they're mostly just shirts, like in different colors. They are very cool. Thank you so much. I'll get to that. But there is one other thing we should show off.
There is one he definitely wants
Absolutely gonna show off here. So I'm letting Bobo open it.
I like to, you guys know me, I like to go green on Etsy and reuse as much packaging as I can, so
here's my Switch. Here's my Switch here.
Hold on, let me mute so I can. Okay, you're good.
Anyway, we got the SGM back, designed by
it's so good!
a combination of Mega Freak 400 and my sister Zenonia, who... She made the original logo here, and Mega made the arcade floor background, which we used last event, and is also just... This is just our official SGM look. So
right, it's just the arcade floor, which I love.
So it's very cool to have it on the Switch itself.
Which huge, because he is here right now, huge shout out to Mega Freak 400, because the entire event would not look even remotely as good without all of those like incredible layouts. And
No.
I know that
Oh
I
my
was like,
God,
I was
yeah.
throwing stuff like, hey, can you make this and this and this?
Incredible.
Unbelievable. Thank you so much, Mega. It looks so good. And we're so very lucky to have you on the art team. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mega. All right, let's get.
It looks so good with the like Joy-Cons
Get this
too.
bad boy in here. Jilly might be kinda
Jilly's like,
something
ooh.
down there.
Yes, it was all so clean. I love it. I love the look of it.
There it is.
Woo!
So, I mean, you can't really see it on the front there, but
Isn't that awesome though? I
There
love
it
that.
is.
I know there's a little bit of glare from the screen, but
super cool.
it's so cool.
I love. It feels really good too. So, it's not like it's blurry or anything.
No, it's
either.
not blurry at all. It's
Like-
very crisp and clear.
It's very cute.
So, love it.
And Mega's like his background tiles so easily. So
Yes.
like literally, we were able to do this like in the spring editor and just like there, and it just like all looked really nice.
Right. It looks so
And
good though.
If you look real carefully, you can see a little hidden SGM right there.
Yeah, there's an SGM in the
Oh,
background. I
hidden in
love
the-
that.
in there. So
Jilly might have to steal that shipping bag.
You might have to.
There we go. The mask. Being Casanova. Thank you. Oh wait, is that Cass? No, it is. Thank you so much, Cass. But I think all of the shirts have the same print on them. They're all
They do all have the same print.
They're all the same print.
So they got me a T-shirt.
We got them the collection.
A T-shirt, a tank top, a long sleeve, and the crew neck.
And a short sleeve. Wait, you already
I
said
said
that.
that.
Okay.
I
Hold
was-
on, I thought there were 5 pieces.
No, there was 4.
Oh yeah, 5 with this. Okay,
5
that's
with
why I was
this,
like,
yeah.
wait, what? There was also a sticker. That was the only thing we didn't get, but
Yeah, well, that's okay.
yeah, Jilly says it's her bag for sure.
But the merch is still up right now. If you want to.
Yeah, it's still available.
In the future, I would like to have a store for SGM to have some more like year-round
Yeah,
items
just have it all the time.
featuring our like standard look to it. So,
Because I would love in the
tuned.
future to get like a beanie or something, like because that's what I like to rep. But
there were some items we tried to have that
and they were
the
sold out. They
spring-
wouldn't do it.
The spring store screwed up.
Yeah,
like,
they wouldn't.
Like we were supposed to have a hoodie, and it like we had it, and then it just like vanished.
I also I really want. Sorry, I'm interrupting, but I really want a beanie that just has a little flower crown like right here, like
I want it with just the SGM logo, but
that
I mean,
too. But
that would be
then
cute.
you could get have it reversible, flower crown on one side, SGM logo
Oh yeah,
on the other.
that would be cute. Yeah, shower. We didn't have a shower curtain, but there was also supposed to be
What if we had a shower
there was supposed to be a
curtain?
baby
Let's go.
onesie for a certain
Aw.
person in our actually maybe
Two people
I
in
didn't
our-
mention that because I wasn't sure like how
Well, I'm not
public
going to say
that
anything,
was,
but I'm not going to
but,
dox anything.
yeah.
But like multiple people could
could have used
the
that.
onesie.
And then there was a mug too.
It's not me. Trust me. That's not what I'm alluding to either.
No.
So
No, oh, yeah,
it's
no,
not
no,
me.
no.
Don't. Anyway,
yeah,
no, Pixie.
Pixie,
No,
come
it's
on.
not me.
And then, like I said, there was a mug, and we actually had like a special edition one that we were supposed to give away as a prize, and that just never ended up happening. So we'll figure that out in the future. There's so many years more to come of SGM. So
Yeah,
but thanks for this, guys. I appreciate it.
I love it. It's so good.
Quite a few people in our group got this.
Yeah,
I
because
know
it looks
Bill
so
did.
good. Bill had
I
it
think-
at the
I
event,
think
and
Mega
I was
did.
gonna.
I think Slim did.
I was gonna race on Mario Kart 8, but it wouldn't let me. So I was like, no. The Wi-Fi was like blocked, so I couldn't join in any of those games.
Yeah, I
but,
wanted to play Mario Kart 8 as well, and it wouldn't let me in.
So big poop butt stink, but
Well, I think that's it for me. So
Yeah.
I think what I'll do is I will open up the T-shirt and then I'll come back and
Yeah, just
show
model
it,
it.
off, But then I'm gonna go work on
Sounds good.
some stuff. Yeah, SGM body pillow. There you
Oh,
go.
perfect. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let's go. And we could have the what's her name? Laura. We could have Laura on the one side, and we could have our new mascot from this year, a hamster, on the other side. I think I
unnamed.
don't know. I don't know if we were calling him Stacky or if that was.
I heard somebody say that. I don't know if that is what the
I have
name
no
we're going
idea,
with.
but
I think Mega said that.
Mega, I like Stacky for the hamster. I like Stacky.
Stacky's
It's cute.
Hey, and guess what? I already know the mascot for
SG
next year.
mattress. Sorry, go ahead.
I said I already know the mascot for next year. I think you guys all too if you watched the Minish Cap randomizer. So I think that's a pretty easy one.
Mustav. Guys, I spelled Mustav right, and then he tripped me up and was like, "No, it's AF or something."
Well,
and I was like,
"Look, I was spelling
making
it
me
based...
look like an idiot
hold
again.
Hold on. I was spelling it based on the king that the other vote that was there, which was King Gustav because it was
true.
AF. So I assumed that's how Mustaf was, but everyone was spelling it like that, and I was like, all right,
how could you do this to me?
You can't change it now, so I guess I'm just wrong. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I'm gonna adjust my camera so I'm centered here, but
she's like, get out of here, Odie. I'm sick of you now.
You know.
The only thing that does suck is I obviously can't put this in the dock like this, but it's
I thought you just couldn't put it in the OLED dock. I don't know. Try it.
I feel like you probably can't put this in the dock.
Okay, well. What about that Jilly? I hope you guys enjoyed the Jilly cameos in some of the interviews, by the way. I know that Jilly had a cameo in Slim's and in OdinSpack's interview, so that was pretty funny. So I know there was some tea I was gonna spill that was really funny, and now I'm losing. Oh, there was one that was funny. This was a little behind the scenes like hiccup that just tickled me because I'm Bobo. But when I went to announce, we had pronouns for everybody. My username is MadameWario, okay, Madam. And the pronouns were stuck as he, him, and I was like, well, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm actually a she, her moment, as in my name, like Madam would imply, right? And then later, this was like at the very end of the marathon, the same thing happened, except it was K-Man, and it said K-Man, she, her, and I was like, you know, K-Man doesn't imply anything, I guess. It's just a she, her moment. So I just thought it was funny that the two times that it hadn't been changed were on these two very obvious usernames that like literally have like a gender identity in them. It was just very funny, but also, yes, the K stands for known man, thanks to my phone for autocorrect. Known man. I tried to say, let's go. I tried to put crown man, like with a K, because Power to Mario had said that. And I was like, let's go crown man. And my phone autocorrected to known.
Well, that makes even more sense.
Known man. Stupid. This is what happened, because I was on my computer typing, like, in the room, and then Odie's like, I have to do the closing thoughts, like, you have to get out of here, I don't want you in the background, and I was like, yeah, but now I'm gonna be on my phone messing everything up, and he's like, that's too bad, you're just gonna have to use your phone. So I said the stupidest things at the end of this marathon when I was like trying to thank people. I tried to thank Battlon, and it autocorrected to Barlow. I'm like, this is so embarrassing. I tried to say save Brudge. It autocorrected to save Bulge. Like, I was like, oh my god, I swear I did none of these on purpose. Like, it was all my phone. And even at the very beginning of the marathon, I had texted a photo of Odie to his sister, Zenonia, being like, oh, look, we're running the stream. And I tried to say he looks so dapper. And I had sent the message and it said he looks so sappy. And I was like...
Cut it just down like this.
So like other, like sideways. Like, what are you doing? Like this. I don't know if this is what you were saying to do, but like as close to that as you can.
Okay.
So that's what I do. Anyway. But yeah, save Bulge, thanks Barlow, known man, dumb. So sorry. Yeah, gotta give it up for autocorrect 07. Oh, Little Foo is in the house. Save Bulge. What's up, Foo? It was so incredibly stupid. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, I'm excited. You guys will see his shirt in a second, but
I'm not gonna open that one right now.
okay. But oh, and yes, I put Scotsman instead of Scotman. I was like, just a general Scotsman, you know. I guess it's not important, like, to say your actual username. I'll just assume things. I had so many typos over the weekend, but at least they were entertaining because I was like, this is so embarrassing. Like, I could not go 5 minutes this weekend without embarrassing myself somehow. Like, I just, every single time. Love you, Foo! And I'm so glad you were part of the marathon, Foo, because I didn't look at any of the runs, like, well, I looked at, like, the run before and after whatever I was involved in, and that was it, just so I would have an idea of when I needed to be ready. And so I really didn't even know what everybody was doing this year, going into this. You guys also know, if you've watched my channel in the past couple weeks, that I've been talking about next to SGM doing a Super Mario Bros. 3 Bobo % run that's, like, for your, you know, regular old player, not trying to, like, break any records or anything, but trying to play the game quickly. Let's see it. Let's go.
It's so comfy.
It's so cute. I love it.
It feels really good.
I love it. It's very cute.
Looks good.
I love
Thanks,
it.
guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
All right, I'm going to work.
Okay, he's gonna be working back there on SGM, but we started off the marathon. The reason I'm talking about this is because we started off the marathon with a speed run of Super Mario Odyssey. It was an any % relay. It was Build a Fajita and Battle On, not Barlow or whoever. But it finished like an hour early. They were way under time, and you know, we all kind of have something in our back pocket for filler if we need it. And so Odie's like, hey, I need filler. Like, can you go play Super Mario 3 like you were going to? I'm like, okay. So you guys know I've like practiced this once before the stream, and I just learned about like 2 new secrets that I practiced one time before the marathon. And like live on the stream, I like forgot where one of them was, and I'm like, oh my god. And my game, I was jumping and doing things, I was somehow missing the secret every single time. And I was so embarrassed. I'm like, Odie, please help me. I don't know what I'm doing. So I promise I want to do this Super Mario Bros. 3 run next time after practicing and refining it and actually being able to explain what I'm doing instead of being a frazzled mess that's like, this is Mario 3. Like, I don't even know what I said about the game at all. I feel like I gave the worst explanations. The audio wasn't working at first, then I got it to work, then the microphone fell on me, then we had to fix that. It was like a hot mess. I was so embarrassed, but like, it was also really funny at the same time. A literal mic drop. I didn't even do it on purpose, but oh my god, it was so ridiculous. Unfortunately, you have to get going. Thank you so much for all your generosity at SGM, Scott, man, and for being here, and for being there over the weekend. Very much appreciated. Have a great rest of your day. Or Scotsman, sorry. I'm, you know, new name. But yeah, this is Mario 3. I think I've played this game before. That might as well have been my commentary, but it was the second run in the entire marathon. I was so hyped, but then I just got so nervous because I had no... It was my first time on, like, Bill's computer, too. That's where I streamed it from, and I'm going back to what I said earlier about, like, for some reason, on somebody else's computer, it's just, your mind goes blank. You forget everything you've ever known about using a computer or any of the programs that you use regularly. So I'm like, how do I do this? And like, how do I mute this? Which source is what? Like, what am I looking at? Like, I was so flustered and confused, but we got there and it was fine. Oh, thank you so much, Master Starman. Thank you so much for being part of the marathon. I actually woke up to your, I can't remember the name of it, the snowboarding, like, run that you did. And I had it on while I was getting ready, so I don't know that I was able to say very much during it, but I tried to say hi and say good morning. I always tried to say good morning, like, when I got up and started watching the stream. Oh my god, that was the other embarrassing thing I said. I tried to say, oh, I was like, great run, Brudge, and what did I say to K-Man? Great horn. I tried to say good job or something, and I said good horn because of autocorrect. And I'm like, this is so embarrassing. Oh, so good horn, K-Man. It was great. And good job, Brudge, on that finale. That was the other really stupid autocorrect thing that happened. So anyway, bonus run was great horn. Why would I ever... Why? Why is horn in the autocorrect dictionary on my phone? K-Man's Flu. That's what it deserves. This song is the story of my weekend of like, oh my god, she failed again. Why? Oh my god, Mega, your autocorrect was so funny too. Your fun fact. That was hilarious. I didn't see that one in real time. I only heard about it like right after, and it made me laugh pretty hard. Gotta love autocorrect. So dumb. I didn't even realize though. So anyway, we started off with Mario Odyssey. I think it was a good run. We were just working kinks out because it was the very first thing in the marathon, and then really working more kinks out during that bonus run I did of Super Mario Bros. 3. Thank you guys so much for hyping and making me feel like it wasn't the ultimate fail, though. I really appreciated it. I'm glad it was entertaining at the very least, because I was like, this is a hot mess. What is going on? Then we had our first, and what I want to say is only one of 2 creative blocks in the entire marathon. There were 2 creative blocks. The first was a custom controller building block by Battlon, and it was right after my bonus run. And that was really cool. I didn't get to see, like, all of it because I was trying to get stuff ready. Like, we were dealing with the tech hiccups. I don't think it was very long, though. And then we had Wingspan, which was my brother-in-law, Jeff's, like, first time streaming with his... one of his best friends. And what's funny is I was like, everybody watching this is gonna be like, are they brothers? Because they looked so alike. Like, it was so funny. On the stream, they just looked like they were related. But it was a fun game to watch. I wish I could have watched it like with more attention, because I couldn't really pay that much attention to it because I was running back and forth between rooms. So like the way that the lab was set up is we had the whole, like, you walk down the stairs, it was in the basement of this building. On the right hand side was the whole computer lab that had all of the gaming computers and our tech set up. So everything was being run from there, broadcast from there, and there was a big TV that previewed the stream. And I had to kind of watch myself about this because it would preview in real time and I would like react in chat, and then I'm like, oh god, because of delay, no one's even gonna know what I'm gonna spoil things. I don't want to do that. So I'd typically react a little bit sooner than anybody else because I would see it sooner, and I'm like, oh, so I had to like wait until I saw somebody else react to whatever it was before I typed later on in the weekend. But anyway, that was on the right hand side, but then if you went back out to that hallway on the left hand side was like an office / streaming space that we didn't use at all, that was just used by the college that weekend. It was a pretty small area. And then off to the left of that, like you had to walk through that room. To the left of that was an office space that had Bill's computer, which is where we streamed from, and it also had Scooter's computer on the other side. There were like 2 like very large like cubicle areas. Scooter's computer was on the other side, so like at the very end of the night when I was doing Fall Guys, like there was just like a partition wall between me and Bill was announcing, so we had to do some like, there was echo at first because I had some of the mic muted on, I had the mic muted on Discord but not on OBS, so I was like, ah, so I'm like having to adapt to that. But we had a system where he would just wave this big stick. I don't even know what it was. I think it was part of like a green screen setup. He just waved this big stick when he had an announcement, and then I knew to like cue him in. So it was pretty hilarious, like, because we're both basically facing each other, you know, 3 feet apart, but with a partition wall in between us. But that was essentially the space. So like running back and forth just caused me to miss a little bit more of that than I would have liked to when I would have liked to see it. But yeah, I heard it was very chill though. All the birds. Girl, I flubbed announcer intro and called Mega K-Man. We all have those moments though. It happens. Oh, you know, it happens. Also, Brandon, welcome to the stream. I should rename myself autocorrect next year, Narusonic. We all know it's the truth at this point. You know, you're just talking about horns all the time, obviously. Oh my god. I it wasn't even Toch that said, I said this chick, and somehow she heard me say this chicken. And I was like, no, I did not call you a chicken. I tried to say this chick, but didn't work. Mic problems, guys. Mics. Anyway, Jeff and Adam did so good. Shout out to the Common Raven. I'm glad it was good. Also, shout out to Toch because it actually is her birthday today. So happy birthday, Madam Toadstool. It is her birthday, so be sure to show her some love. I haven't posted anything on Twitter. I usually do, but I just haven't had the chance yet today. But anyway, so I didn't really see much of that, and because I was the next thing. So Mario Party Superstars was next. We had some weird echo issue that I got blamed for, which wasn't even my fault, Odie. It was so funny. He had like a tab open that was playing the stream at the same time, and he was like, you need to mute stuff, and I was like, what? I can't mute us! So...
Hold on.
Yeah?
I need to interject. Okay? It 100% was my fault, okay? I accept it. However, I did not know that the donation page on Streamlabs had our channel on it, because it is a very long page, and a lot of it is not really needed. So, my bad. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Odie. Thanks for owning up. But anyway, so I had a lot of frantic like setup moments because this was one of them where everybody was in that call. I think I was trying to eat before this started, so like K-Man, Power to Mario, and Slim Kirby were all in this run with me, and they were all ready to go. They were on it, like waiting, and I'm like frazzled, frantic. We had to switch the mic over. We had to, I had to try and eat. Then we had all these audio issues, and then the internet for me would not connect from the Switch. We were trying Wi-Fi because the director of the program was like, oh yeah, the Wi-Fi will be great, but it was blocked. You couldn't play a game on it. You had to have, and I was like, I need an Ethernet cable. I need an Ethernet cable. So we're like frantically getting this Ethernet cable like before the run even started. So I think we started late because of that, and we finished late because of that, and I felt bad, but I was like, Kyle was in control. I didn't even get to like run the room because of that. I'm like, whatever. It's fine. It worked out. That was a lot of fun though. And it really like brought me back to like 2010 through 2012 era of like chatting every single night with those, more than just those three. Because, you know, Mega, is part of that too. I just know he was probably sleeping during, he had to sleep during this because he had stuff to do overnight, but you know, that whole group was my introduction into the gaming realm online, and so it was very much a throwback, kind of surreal. Like, I don't know why I got like very sentimental and was like, wow, this is weird. This is kind of like the good old days before I really knew a lot of people. It's just like when I knew a few people, and they were the ones I talked to and like spilled my life to every night, who know far more about me probably than anybody really needs to. But it was just really fun to play like this casual game and have like it was like a reunion almost. And I'm like, this is so like, what world are we like? It feels like no time has gone by, yet we're all older and it's been like over a decade, and I'm like, this is so like, I don't know, it just kind of hit me like having that. And I had asked them to be part of this run because they were like my OG friends of the internet that I'm still very close to, all three of them. All three of them, again, know way too much about my life, and I'm glad that they do. And oh my god, no, Mega. No. Can confirm. F fact. Madam loves Xenoblade. No. I'm glad you watched it back, Mega. It's funny because it's like, oh, we needed like a 5-player game. I mean, I know you weren't available at that time, but we needed like more than that. You know, it's just like there's a lot of sentiment in that for me, so I was like trying not to get emotional. I'm like, this is like, I guess because I was like flustered and had lack of sleep and everything, I was like very I don't know, I just felt very sentimental in that run, so that was a lot of fun. Even though I got wrecked, I did like the worst ever, because I just could not get any luck, and I couldn't count, and every time I tried to count anything, I counted it wrong. Even in roll call, I counted correctly, and I was like, oh, I was wrong. And they're like, no, that was Slim that was wrong. And I'm like, I swear, I thought Slim won. I don't know what I was looking at. I was like so frazzled. And then, of course, I roll like under a 5 every single turn of the game, and I get to the big boo and I roll a 6 and I pass it. I'm like, that was my only chance at winning. Literally my only chance at winning. Why? So it was a hot mess. I did terribly. I did not defend my crown because I was the Mario Party tournament champion earlier this year, and I just dead last so hard at that during that run. Oh my god. I knew that was where the echo was coming from the minute you said it was Odin. Oh. That was when we were trying to figure the donation incentive issue. Yeah, there was like a donation incentive thing going on at the same time. There was a lot of tech error going on behind the scenes during that run. Which, it was the only run, I think, that had that many people that also had like webcam too. Like, there were obviously runs that had more people than that, but they didn't have webcam. So it was just like, the tech was all over the place. So it was one of those things that we, again, could benefit from figuring that out ahead of time. Whoops. Yes, next we need a Chimps play Mario Party Superstars. That would be so fun. We need a girl gamer like reunion, or a Critical Chicks reunion. That would be so much fun. I would love to do that next year. To do like a gamer girl rendition. Because that would be fabulous. And I would love that. All that crochet counting for nothing. So dumb. To be fair, should have been Woody Woods. Woody Woods is definitely a better board, but you know, you had to donate. It was up to the people. I really thought it was gonna be Yoshi's Tropical Island, but nope. Horrorland pulled the win for. I guess it matches the time of year, but Song from Majora's Mask is perfect for you recalling your big losing at Superstars. Yeah, real gamer girls, not clickbait. Oh man, we did have basically a Madam Sisters run, because I joined my sister, Madam Toadstool, for Jackbox. Excuse me, I joined her for Jackbox, so that was the two of us commentating, and then we were both co-commentators on Toad and Wonderland's run of Minigame Coaster. So we did have a Madam combo, but we had one that was just the two of us once, and I have kind of a funny story behind that too. Really, it should have been Cheap Chop's trick. Really? You've never played Superstars online with anyone yet? Oh my gosh, Foo. It's so fun to play online. I think you mean chicken. Yeah, I mean the chicken. The chicken in the room. So after Mario Party Superstars, I kind of got to take a breather for a few hours. We had the SpongeBob SquarePants Lights Camera Pants run by NAF. That was hilarious. I feel like I would really like that game. I'm not like a huge SpongeBob fanatic. I like it. It's not like I dislike it at all, but
That really looks like
it does look like my kind of game. But I know that NAF plays a lot of like party style games and is very into those kinds of games like I am. So like I really enjoyed watching it. I was like, I would actually really like this game. I can just tell. And it was so goofy, and it had like a Mario bandstand moment that was my favorite. It was really, really funny. I thought he did a great job with that. And then after that was The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past randomizer with Adirondack Rick and Power to Mario, which props to PTM because he literally learned how to play this game a year ago. Like, he played it for the first time 1 year ago, and now he's like this like ultimate Link to the Past randomizer champ. Like, I don't understand it. Like, it's just proof that a year is all you need to become this like incredible speedrunner at a randomizer like that. Yeah, PTM is a king. For sure. He deserves a crown too. So I did not even catch the end of this race because I was getting ready for Jackbox, and then I got doxed. I hope I didn't say anything embarrassing. We were like doxed, like goofing around being idiots in the waiting room, like while this was wrapping up, and
From what I heard, it doesn't sound like.
okay, good. PTM was like broadcasting us, and I was like, I guarantee I said something embarrassing. Like, I guarantee I was like talking about the dumbest story ever and ruining the marathon behind the scenes. But it was fine. Jackbox was really, really fun. I haven't played Jackbox in a really long time. Just because, like, it's kind of one of those games for me. I don't like streaming it personally myself because I like to play it better with, not that I don't know all of my community, but, like, it's just been bad with getting, like, randos on Twitch that are very offensive, and I just don't want to deal with that on stream is kind of more so my issue. And so I haven't played it in a long time, and I enjoy playing it in person and everything, but I just haven't been in a group setting to do that in a long time. You know, it's like since COVID era, it didn't happen anyway, but then like after that, it's like there's been so much to catch up on and so much has changed in my personal life that I'm just like, oh, you know, or in my family life, I should say, that we just like never sit down and play anything like that. But so that was a lot of fun to play alongside everybody. And I think that's when Zebra had to do the Hip Hop AF rendition yet again. I'm pretty sure that's when you had to read that for the second year in a row, Zebra, and I was living for it. So thank you so much. Oh, I embarrassed myself in the waiting room after Pico 2. No, little Foo, why are we like this? Jackbox is definitely better with a group of people you trust, for sure. The wedding cake carousel. I promise I had like an idea for this and I just misunderstood, and it was so... It looked so bad. Like, it did not. I know I explained it on stream, but I'll tell the story again for anybody who wasn't there. So... she played Jackbox 9, which just came out, I guess, last week, and...
I think even sooner.
Really?
I think it was like the day before.
The day before! Okay, it came out the day before
I
the day before the run, the day before the event, and I was supposed to draw, like... Okay, there was a game where it gave you a prompt, and you were supposed to draw something based on the prompt, and then gauge, like, what percent it was. Like, mine was carousel, or... wedding cake. Like, which was it? I guess it was supposed to be which was it for, but I interpreted it as like I interpreted it as an object that could go either way, like be on a wedding cake or be on a carousel. So I drew this cute little mushroom. I was like, oh, like a cute little like mushroom you could sit on, like on a carousel. Or I could see somebody having a cute little mushroom as like their wedding cake topper. But then I messed it up. And, like, my finger went across, like, the bottom portion of the mushroom, and then I had to, like, color it in before I ran out of time, and I ran out of time while I was coloring it in, so it just looked like a big blob in the middle of this, like, it was so stupid. Like, it was the worst drawing I've ever done in my life, and it didn't make sense at all. I was like, I'll put it in the middle, like, 50-50 kind of, but more carousel. It wasn't until I saw everybody else's drawings that I kind of understood what I was supposed to be going for, and I just completely screwed it up, and it's the stupidest thing in the entire world. So definitely check out that run if you want to see my terrible drawing. It was so bad.
By the way, I can confirm it literally was the day before.
Okay, it was the day before. How close is the thing to an object, or object A or object B on this scale? Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, and I don't know how I messed this up so badly. I will say that run was a lot of fun, though, because Toch and I, obviously, we know each other well, because we're sisters, but I feel like we bounce off each other well. And our entire family was there, pretty much, like, our other two sisters, Madam Cooking Mama and Ted Charmander, were both in chat. I thought I saw Charmander, and I was like, oh, I think she left, but then she was back, and she was in the game, and I'm like, oh, never mind, she's here, and our mom was in the chat, too. Madam Mom. So, we had all 5 girls from my family were literally there for the Jackbox game. And so that was pretty funny. I think Madam Cooking Mama and Madam Mom were there pretty much throughout the marathon. I know my mom was, and I know MCM or Layla, she was there like most of the time too. So I think Charmander only made it to the Jackbox game. I don't know that I saw her another time, but it was nice to have all of them there at once. So that was pretty funny. And they were like in the game too. So you got the whole family, the Madam fam. I think Madam Mushroom should be the new bird buddy. Madam Mushroom. Yeah, that could be my counterpart to Bird Buddy, just like Madam 40 or Madam 5 Uncool is supposed to be a thing. Yes, you were able to play, and it was a lot of fun. Yes, definitely. So thank you to everybody who played along. That was so much fun to do with you guys. And then the block after that was just fantastic. It was one of my favorite blocks of the marathon. I've never caught it at the other marathons. It was always too early in the morning, and it was like when I was up and getting ready and I was the next thing, or I was still sleeping for like the first half of it and only caught the end. It was the creative block of Pokemon Drawing Challenge by Pixel Plume and Snack Attack, and they did a fantastic job. Like, I didn't realize how good Snack was at drawing. Like, I'm not trying to throw shade or anything, I just didn't realize, I guess, because I hadn't ever seen like those blocks before. I didn't know if it was like a meme thing, if it was like, oh, Pixie like does this for a living, like let's see how Snack does it. But like they did such an amazing job, both of them. Like the very first Pokemon, I know this was Pixie's drawing. He drew a Phanpy crossed over with an Execute, which could be like the most cursed, like heinous looking thing ever, and it was the cutest thing. It was like Phanpy with like a little egg crown and like egg suit popping out, and all the eggs were little elephants. Like, it was so cute, and I was like, I need a plush of this. This is my favorite one. I was like, I don't care what comes after this, is my favorite one. They were all so good. He's really good. Every time he doodles, I'm like, well, dang. I know, that's what I mean. I was like, I had no idea he, like, drew or was, I didn't know, like, he was so good at drawing. Like, I guess it's just not something you know about somebody anyway, unless you see them, like, actually make artwork. But yeah, they were all so good. They were all crossovers. There were 16 different Pokemon that were donated to be part of this. And they all got mixed, so like I think only 2 of them, or were they all the same? I don't think they were. I think only 2 of them were like the same crossover for both of you. But it was the cursed one that was like, I don't know how to say it. Exertree, is that how you say it? That's probably not how you say it. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but it was the scary looking one. I was like, this is the most cursed thing. But yeah, Koi Lapras and Galarian Slowking you both got. I was gonna say, I know you did the weird one and another one, and that was it. But they were all so good. We were talking about getting all of them put together like on a shirt or something. Kind of like, this is the original like Stack Game Marathon. This is designed by Pixel Plume, by the way. This is the original like Stack Game Marathon print that he developed like during the marathon. And we were thinking about doing something like that, like post marathon on a shirt, because all of them turned out so good. Like, it was so cute. Yeah, the scary looking, and that's the best way I can describe it. It was just the scary looking one. But yeah, that was so fabulous, and I loved watching that. That block was great. Once Dead by Daylight came on, that was Jambi and Mintius. They both did a co-op run of Dead by Daylight. That was when Odie and I went back to the hotel to get some sleep, so I did not see any of that. I saw them like set up and get started, and that was it. I don't know a lot about Dead by Daylight or any like kind of horror-esque game in general. It's just not my genre, so that's one that I did not see. I didn't see Dead by Daylight. I did not see Resident Evil 2 by Tamal. That was Tamal 9's run. I really want to see Dracula Resurrection by Illa Weaver, though, because I know that she did a cosplay for it. Like, there was an incentive to do a cosplay. I gotta go back and watch all this horror stuff. I need to do it like at night though, because that'd be more fun to watch it at night than during the day. But from what I understand, all of those runs were great. Frog Detective 1 and 2, I don't have any idea what that is, so that would be another one to be like, okay, what in the world is this? Or Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. I didn't walk in until Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 the next morning, and I did catch most of that. I caught like half of it when it started at the hotel while I was getting ready. I got up and got ready during it, and then I was at the actual venue for the rest of it, and that was where I think I put my first donation down, but anyway, the Dead by Daylight exhibition was really good. I'm sure they all were like so fun. It's like I miss all the late night stuff. I need to go back and watch all of it. Highly recommend all the Spooky Block for sure, especially now, like it's so close to Halloween. Maybe that's what I'll do, like leading up to Halloween next week, is I'll like watch all of these runs. I'll save these runs for like the day before or something, because that would be perfect, because I've been trying to watch through everything that I missed overnight, so I'll save these for like as close to Halloween as I can. But I'm sure they were fantastic. I'm excited to see all of those. I love Puyo Puyo Tetris. I love that there was a lot of conversation going on about Puyo Pop Fever, which is the first game I ever heard of with Puyo Pop. You guys know I did a Let's Play of it like 1,000 years ago on YouTube. It was very janky because it was not like a full-on like successful playthrough. It was more like a showcase kind of LP, if you will. But I love talking about the characters. That was where I donated as the lawnmower with the message brrr. Pixie, I'm so glad that the lawnmower also haunted your I mean, technically it was Wolf's content, but you were part of it, so it also haunted you, as it does often haunt my own streams and content and fun stuff. Frog Detective was very good. Weaver's Run was great. I still need to watch Tamal's. Oh, I'm excited. I'm so excited to see all of what I missed, because it's like, I don't want to miss any of it. It's like, it's so much fun to just see it all and see it in real time too. Boy, we didn't need sleep, dang it. Frog Detective you didn't watch because you were going to play it for yourself, but they seem really goofy and fun. Mega, you should definitely check out Monster Boy. I think you'll find a lot of cute creatures in it. Maybe biased. Oh, I will for sure check it out, Mega. You would love an all horror day for next SGM. If enough people wanted to do horror stuff, like even if it was like cute horror stuff, like we did Horrorland, you know, from Mario Party, like all of that would be a fun time. Bring back Share Bones for sure. Low-key, there were so many frogs this weekend. Like, frogs were the sleeper theme. 100%. There were so many frogs. I learned that Puyo Puyo is actually a spin-off of an older RPG series called I can't even read this. Okay, well, I didn't even know this. It made me want to crochet more Puyos, because I haven't made those in forever. That's one of those things. And I never did finish Puyo Puyo Tetris 1. Like, I don't have the second game. But I never finished the first game. I got stuck in an area, and I needed to, like, put it down and take a break from it, but I never picked it back up. And I got very far into it. Like, I was really far into the game. Like, just the story mode, I mean. I'm also just not as good at Puyo as I am Tetris. Like, my brain works with Tetris more than it does with, like, the combos in Puyo, so I get tripped up. The best puzzle game, the puzzle game that I am truly best at is Dr. Mario, because then I'm able to see, like, the different ways of doing things, like, before I need to do them. And a lot of the time in Puyo, it's too late. Like, I didn't line things up right. Tetris, I'm pretty good at it, but I'm not very good at some of the, like, technical, like, button-y stuff. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. But I did grow up with Dr. Mario and Tetris combo on the SNES. Which was a run on here that I was very excited about, because I'm like, oh, this takes me right back to my childhood. I love this game. I grew up with this game. Hold on one second. Woo! Sorry, I need to take a drink. Woo! Sorry. Did you know that Yoshi is a frog? Oh my god. I'm so excited to see like your cosplay for Dracula Resurrection 2, Weaver, because I love the cosplay game crossover. It's the best. Anyway, it's the other way around. Every character except Yoshi is a frog. Wow. I kind of find Dr. Mario difficult. I don't know, it just comes to me the most naturally. That was my problem. I got stuck because I'm not as good at Puyo. Yeah, I can play Tetris all day, like way better than Puyo. If it was, I need a Tetris, I need a game like Puyo Puyo Tetris with all of the cute characters, except it's Tetris and Dr. Mario. Then I would be fine. I'd be great. Oh my god, Rick's run was so impressive. I think that was that the next thing? Hold on. Where am I on this list? It was the next thing. I know we're talking about, like, we had, like, this, it was cute, because we had, like, a puzzle block a little bit in the morning from the morning into the afternoon, even with Faxanadu, which was after Dr. Mario, like, it was a randomizer, so it was kind of puzzly. I mean, not the same way, but you know what I mean, like, it all kind of fits together, but yeah, Adirondack Rick did a run of Dr. Mario. That was fantastic. He did such a good job. Like, that skill always makes me want to play that game. And that's a hard game to stream. Any of the puzzle games are hard to stream, for me at least, because I'm, like, concentrating so hard that I can't talk as well or commentate as well, I guess. But anyway, that run was fantastic. I thought his co-commentator did a great job, too. What was her name? It was Savage Octagon. I thought she was fantastic. So it was like great commentary. The whole run, I really, really enjoyed that run. And it took me right back to my childhood, because again, that was a childhood game for me. Wow, Green DK pitching in for Yoshi was a betrayal. The stacked game marathon, everybody, is just in chat. The whole marathon.
Look, okay. They may have had to say something, alright?
Oh my god. I really enjoyed Dr. Mario 2, Zabrag. Say I'm okay, Puyo. I got good enough to beat story mode in Puyo Puyo Tetris, and that's about it. That's where I need to get to. Wasn't anything fancy, but I thought the outfit suited the aesthetic. Oh, I'm excited. No, I can't wait to see it. A mini puzzle block for sure. May have impersonated some fake doctors during that. It was so funny. I loved all the donations during that run. So then we had Big Odie's Faxanadu randomizer alongside Notlobber, who created the randomizer. I know he talked about it a lot earlier. I thought that the Laws Cards fan 23, his commentary was on point. He was so hype, and like he sounded like a professional like sports commentator or something. Like he did such a good job. I was like, wow, we just got like super pro with this. But he did such a good job of explaining things, 'cause I don't understand anything in that game, as we were talking about earlier, but I did enjoy it, and I really enjoyed Odie's reactions. I had a bit prepared for the end of it that didn't work out, because in the room that I talked about that was like an office / broadcasting room for the students at the college that we had to walk through to get to our streaming office space, there were these trophies that they had made for like a Smash tournament, League of Legends tournament or something. Like, they had these trophies in there, and if Odie won the race, I was gonna like go in there and just like present this trophy to him and be like, okay, time for your thank you speech. And then when he did like his post-game interview, he'd be like, I'd like to thank the Academy or whatever. But I didn't get to do it because he lost.
Wow.
Sorry, Odie. How could you ruin my bit? No, it was fine. It was funny, but plus I also was kind of nervous though, because I was like, I don't want to ruin his like his, what's the word, like expectation for his own thing anyway.
I would have laughed.
Okay, good. I was scared that I didn't want to ruin anything for you. But yeah, that was a fun time watching that for sure. Yeah, Odie ruined the bit by losing. It definitely was. Little Fu was it was so entertaining. Like, I really enjoyed it. Everything about that was good for sure. And then I joined Toad in Wonderland next alongside Madame Toadstool for Mario Party 2 minigame coaster. That was a lot of fun. It was so much fun last year. So many really stupid bits came out of that. Like when I tried to say that Madame Toadstool was... we didn't like introduce ourselves for some reason. I think because we were talking for a while before that, like waiting for the run to start. Like that Toad introduced himself and got started because it was his block, but we never differentiated like which of us is which. And if you've ever heard us talk, our voices are similar. Like, you guys probably know the difference very well by this point because you're used to watching like our different stuff. But if you're not used to watching our different stuff, like if you're not in both of our communities or even one of our communities more to know, when it's just a voice behind the mic, it can sound very similar. So I was like, oh, we should have really like spelled out like, hey, I am a different person than this person. And both of our names are similar too, so it's like, I'm Big Bobo, that's Toch. So when I tried to like revisit that and do that to not be confusing for anybody who didn't know us already, it failed. Because I was like, Toch is that chick. I'm the person. And she was like, I'm that chicken. And it just was so dumb. She became a chicken from that until the end of the marathon. And she loves chicken, so it was very fitting. And Toad was the gamer. By the end of it, he was the gamer. But that was a lot of fun to do that run. I really enjoy, like, sitting back and doing the co-com because it's, like, all the stress of, like, running your own thing and having tech issues is, like, a lot easier to deal with. So it was nice to have those after having so many tech problems at that first, like, bonus run. And then again in Mario Party, like, it was nice to have those, like, just a day of, like, co-com where I was able to just, like, talk and enjoy it. I actually did end up going on camera that night, though, because I was able to finish my bonus run then, which we'll get to that in a second, because next we have Sonic Adventure, which was the Bragg's game, and he had Brudge and K-Man co-commentating for that. I want to say that I was, like, kind of in a, like a... I feel like I need to rewatch it because I had checked out for part of it because that was like when we got food again. When I was like in just like a crazed state of like, oh my god, I'm tired but I'm also like hype. I need to watch it again. I feel like a lot of people in the gaming lounge were coming up during that run though and being like, oh, I remember this, or what, like talking about the game. So that was a lot of like, that was very chill on my end. So I'm like, I need to like watch it again and pay attention, because it looked like it went really well. I think that's why, like, it was kind of one of those runs that seemed like it was very smooth and like everything was working well. So we were able to kind of like decompress and be like, okay, everything's good. We figured out like the kinks. Today's been really smooth. Like, it was like that vibe. And Mega, you got to announce for that. Oh, yes, you got all the, like, cursed announcements. You did. Mega had a cursed announcing block. I had a really difficult announcing block last year, so Mega got a really ridiculous announcing block this year. Oh, but yeah, I'm sure, from what I could tell, it looked like it went awesome. And then after that was Mario Kart 8, and it was another kind of chill. We spent like half of it trying to get into the game, and again, the Wi-Fi at the school wouldn't let us. And I was getting ready to announce at the next shift, but I think it went well, honestly. Like, because of the weird Wi-Fi issue, I kept like spawning into a room by myself, and it wouldn't let me pick a team. They did like Team Ghost, Team Goblin, and it wouldn't let me pick, and then when it did, I would be in a room by myself. It didn't make any sense. I was like, forget it. I'm just taking a break. But it seems like it went well. All the fake Sonic facts and Larry Koopa hype. Sorry for attracting cursed nonsense donations. Don't be sorry, Zabrag. Those are the best. Those are the best. No, I love the cursed nonsense donations. Those are my favorite ones. Those are my favorite ones to read. Those are my favorite ones to hear. Never apologize for that. They're great. But last year I just had to do a lot of singing in my announcing shift last year, and I was very nervous because half the time I didn't even know the tunes of the songs, so I was like making them up as I went. I kept getting like Donkey Kong cartoon song donations, and I'm like, I didn't even know Donkey Kong had a cartoon. I don't even like DK, like, so I'm like making up the melody as I go. It was really cursed. Yes, cursed donations are the best donations. The Mario Party minigame help announcements, those were fantastic by the end of the weekend. After the Mario Kart 8 tournament was TMNT Shredder's Revenge. That was my announcing block, and what was funny is that game ended early, so I got to do the rest of my bonus run of Super Mario Bros. 3, which I think went a lot smoother this time because I didn't have a microphone falling on me. TMNT was a lot of fun to listen to. There were so many people involved. It was Alan Edgehead, Beck, JD, King Kienzen, Pixel Plume, and Wolf Kaminari. So, like, it was really fun to hear, like, a dynamic of a bunch of people at once. And so that just made that, like, a lot of fun because there were a lot of people there. And I feel like a lot of the time, I miss the runs that have a lot of people in them because a lot of the time they're, like, at night or at a time when, like, I'm busy with something else, like, for SGM. I miss a lot of tricks that I really wanted to hit, so I was a little bummed after Sonic, but I'm glad people enjoyed it. I felt a lot better about it after rewatching it. It was so much fun. That's kind of how I felt about Mario 3. Like, I know it wasn't a planned run for me anyway, so I understand where you're coming from, Zebra. I think I need to do the same thing. I need to, like, rewatch my own run and be like, okay, it was not as bad as you thought. Because it's really easy to be, like, super self-critical after something like that anyway. But the TMNT run was a lot of fun. I enjoyed being in part of the group with all the people in the war between Mario and Luigi that was going on. And then I really enjoyed having that bonus run of World 8. It was kind of funny because I was the announcer on duty, so it's like, well, I wasn't able to announce while running, so, like, Odie came in the room and had to, like, announce over my shoulder for me during that run, which was pretty funny. So I had a lot of fun with that, and I'm glad that the game finish was pretty smooth. Like, I didn't screw anything up horribly, I didn't lose to Bowser, and I was really pressed for time, because we kept watching the clock, and we're like, if this finishes early, if it finishes by this time, you'll get to do it. If not, you don't get to do it. So I was really hoping I'd get to finish it at the marathon because I knew there probably wouldn't be a time the next day. So I was glad that worked out and that it was a smooth enough, like, bonus run that it didn't matter. But after that was the Pico Park Showcase. So I missed the beginning of this because I was on the way back to the hotel. And as soon as I got back to the hotel, I pulled up the stream again. And it was so, so funny. Again, I think this may have been my favorite block in the entire marathon. And when I announced it, I had to announce it in, and announce that K-Man was taking over. But it was listed Brudge, Little Foo, Sizz16, Snack Attack 8, Tamal 9, and Zabrag Burger. They were all involved in this. And I was like, I have no idea whose run this is. It didn't, like, specify who was in charge of it. So, like, luckily I was able to, like, figure out, like, oh, it's Sizz's run. Here we go. But I'm like, here are all these people. I don't know who's in charge, but here they are. So that was pretty amusing. I told Odie later, I was like, you didn't give me a heads up as to whose run this was. And he's like, yes, I did. I bolded it. And I was like, no, it was not bold on that sheet I was looking at. He's like, yes, it was. I did this for sure. He went back and looked. Nothing was bold. And he's like, dang it, no. I was like, I told you. I didn't know. That was so funny, though. Like, you guys did such a good job. Such a good job on the Pico Park run. I want to buy this game now. And I will say that my mom, she had texted me the next day and was like, oh, she said the game with the little elephants, because they're like the little colorful dudes. It's like the game with the little guys, that was so fun. And that was so funny to watch. It was so entertaining. I was so invested. Like, they did a great job with that. I think she enjoyed that. That was one of the things she enjoyed most too. But I was supposed to be going to sleep and I like could not look away. Like, I stayed up until 2 o'clock in the morning, like watching this run when I should have been going to sleep right away because it was so funny and so entertaining. So that was great. It was so much fun. It was so chaotic. It was I need to download this game. I have like my Nintendo download code coupon from my birthday this month, so I can get like 20% off any digital game, and I think it's only like $5 anyway, so I'm like, oh, I need to get this now because I didn't even know this existed. I'm so glad that was a blind run. That just made it even more chaotic. That was fantastic. I gotta watch it from the beginning because I did miss the very beginning of it, but I walked in during the button. It was during the button game where you had to jump over all the buttons, and then like 5 minutes after I walked in, somebody donated that like Fu had to sabotage the first successful run of it, which took like 20 minutes or so to get a successful button hop run. That was so funny. It was great. It was really, really great. Kyle is in control. So dumb. So yeah, I really enjoyed watching that. And after that was Super Mario Advance 4, the Super Mario Bros. 3 World E levels. That was Praise Scooter's run with the hot, like, Midwestern Jello %, which I knew about before I left the venue. And I was really hoping that would happen. And so I didn't stay up late enough to see it happen, but when I went back to the venue the next day, Scooter was like, oh yeah, it happened. I had Jello all over me. It was great. And that's one that I rewatched, not that I rewatched, I caught the beginning of it and then fell asleep, but that's one that I watched last night. So that was really, really funny. Think I'm gonna pick up Pico on Switch too. I have some gold coins about to expire. Oh yeah, perfect. I think I have some gold coins too, so it'd probably, after that coupon and gold coins, it'd probably be like $2 for me. But I love anything Mario 3, so obviously, like, those levels are gonna be excuse me, those levels are gonna be my cup of tea. And it was nice to see, like, that kind of bonus stuff, like, after doing the bonus run of Mario 3 in general. Let me turn on some other, like, music. Sorry, that probably just got a lot brighter. Maybe I should have this on, like, LOL light mode, because that would do a lot better things for my lighting right now. Hold on. I want to start this playlist. Yes, I'm still watching. I literally just turned this on. Okay. Anyway, where was I? So, Super Mario Advance 4 was great. I'm in the process of watching Splatoon 3 by Mega Freak 400. And Sneaky Scarab, wow, if I can talk, was the co-com on that. And I've never really watched Splatoon 3, so it's nice to, like, see the game. And I'm so bad at Splatoon. Like, I don't put the time into it, therefore I just am, like, permanently not good at it. I tried to play Splatoon 2 because it came with my Switch, and I just couldn't, like, really get into it or, like, vibe with it because I'm not... Again, I just didn't want to put the time in to, like, be good at it. But I'm in the process of watching that, and so far it's been really entertaining, and I've really, really enjoyed it mega. So then we get back into the hours that I missed, which are going to be Metroid Prime Pinball, Chuck Roll, whatever that is, Scooter. I don't know. He told me, and he showed me the final boss that he apparently did not get to show off. But yeah, I missed that. I'll have to see it. Both of those. Dong Dong Never Die, which I've never heard of either. That was Comb 711's, or 711, their run. Then Pokemon Masters Arena, Sneaky Scarab I missed. Pokemon Team Turbo by Sneaky Scarab I also missed. These are both, like, really short, though. Collectively, they're like a half hour. I woke up during Master Starman's SSX on tour showcase. So I caught Peach in like a bathing suit skiing down a mountain, and I was like, this is cursed. So I'm guessing, like, I know there was a bid war for that. I'm guessing Peach won. But I need to watch it from the beginning because I only caught the end of it. And then it was Sonic Mania, which was like going on while I was heading to the venue again, getting ready for CoCom with Pixel Plume, which was after that. So that's another one. It was like all the Sonic games were where I was like doing something else or preparing for whatever, except for the finale. We had a lot of Sonic this time. Look at that. But yeah, so I didn't catch as much of that. Like, I wasn't able to pay attention to it very much, so I'll have to like catch that again later. And I also was trying not to like bother Scooter because he was in the stream room. So like I was kind of like trying to get as much setup for myself in the other room as I could. But yeah, Sneaky's Metroid Prime Pinball was really impressive. I'm excited. I'm excited to see all of that stuff overnight. Seriously. What the heck is this? I don't know what this means, Pixie or Zabrag. No, she lost? What? Oh no! Well, I've got to see it. I've got to see Sneaky's stuff, because I didn't see any of it. Probably caught the latter half of Sonic Mania. I was just not paying enough attention, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. One of the ones I paid the most attention to because I took over tracking for the... Oh, yeah. That definitely helps. That definitely helps. I'll love the Pokemon games. Oh, I'm sure I will. Oh, Peach lost! What? I just know I saw her in a bathing suit. Unicorn won. He was just showing Peach off of it. Okay, so that was... I only tuned in when he, like, showed off Peach. That is where I came into the day. Then I did CoCom after Sonic Mania with Pixel Plume. Pixel Plume ran the block, which he had the best webcam ever. So thank you for that, Pixie. I love it. And then I also co-commentated alongside King Kienzin. It was just so much fun to see that game. It was like a throwback because I haven't I haven't played Animal Crossing New Leaf in such a long time. You know, you kind of like, once a new Animal Crossing comes out, you hardly ever revisit the old ones after that, like, unless you're doing something like this. So I haven't, like, logged on to my New Leaf game in a few years, and it was just, like, it's so funny, it just, like, jogged my memory of all the stuff that I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about this, or, like, I missed that from this game, or whatever. So thank you, Pixie, for having me on as CoCom. I meant to say that earlier, too. Thank you to Toad in Wonderland for having me on with my sister and CoCom for Mario Party 2. Shout out and thank you to MT for letting me co-commentate for Jackbox. And shout out and thank you to Pixie for letting me be part of the AC Animal Crossing New Leaf block. It was so short. It went by so fast. I was like, oh my god. It seemed like as soon as it started, it was over. Yeah, when you started practicing the game, you're like, oh yeah, this was a thing. Like, I completely forgot about, like, so much that is in that game. Wendy's did really successful. Just Wendy's with the apostrophe. It was so fun. It was fun to just talk about. We were just sharing, like, our favorites the whole time, too. So it's, like, favorite character, like, favorite, or first fruit in your town, favorite, like, type of villager, favorite song, favorite KK song, like, hourly song. Like, it was all, it was just fun to talk about that stuff because, especially with the older games, like, when do you really sit down and talk about that a whole lot? So thank you for having me on for that, Pixie. It was a lot of fun. And I'm glad that it, like, worked out. Like, the time was perfect. Because I know you were nervous about that, a few weeks ago, but it really did work out perfectly. Then after that we had Snack Attack's Tack and the Power of Juju, any percent run, which in itself is just cursed. And Sizz and Zabrag did CoCom on that. That game is just ridiculous. I've seen him practice it several times because he did a lot of practice streams leading up to it. It's just funny to see people practice these like cursed games that are just like, I have no idea what this is, but like clearly it's part of their childhood. So that was a fun run to watch. It was fun to like see it in action. I know he was really nervous about it. Show me tech! It was great. So it was great to have that be part of the marathon. After that, we had the Legend of Zelda Minish Cap randomizer with Zany Old Coot and Myth. I loved the cow that won and was following Link around the whole time. I feel like I was very focused in on that run, so it was a lot of fun to watch that and actually feel like by that point I had gotten like real food again. Kind of regrouped. We were getting close to the closing of the night. I was getting closer to my Fall Guys block and I was able to relax. So that was like a good amount of time to relax between stuff. So I thought they did a fabulous job with that. And then after that was Super Bomberman Any Percent, which I'll admit I did not watch any of because I was setting up for Fall Guys. And Mustav! Yes, Mustav was part of the Legend of Zelda Minish Cap randomizer. We love Mustav. But that was a really good run. They like bounced off of each other, like the runner and Zany and Myth bounced off of each other very well. We had a little bit of like mic issues, but it was on like Toach's end. She was announcing. It was just funny because like there was one time they're like, all right, so give us announcements. And there was just nothing for like 30 seconds. And they're like, okay, I guess we don't have any. So we're like, she just ghosted him. But it turns out her mic stopped working and she had like restart all her programs. So it was kind of a funny like behind the scenes hiccup, you know, because audio issues. But I need to catch Slim's Super Bomberman Any Percent. I got a donation in for him because I was trying to continue the Home Alone lore during the weekend. So I basically got that donation in and then I ran away and didn't see any of the rest of it. Because we had a lot of tech to set up for Fall Guys because, again, there was just that partition wall between me on one side streaming and Bill, the fajita, on the other side announcing. So it was like we had to just figure out this setup in the same room. And it was only that one time that we had overlap like that. So it was kind of like a learning curve of like, okay, we got to make sure this is right because this is the second to last thing. You know, we don't want it to screw up. But it worked out, and I think it was a lot of fun. I wish I would have done a little bit better as far as gameplay goes, because I was choking hard, but I was also so nervous. Like, I was so excited and prepared, and then I was just like, I just got so nervous. I don't know. I was just like, and I was kind of getting the feels of like, oh my god, this is like the end. Like, after this, I'm done, and then it's like the last run of the marathon. So it was just a time. I had so much fun playing Fall Guys with you guys, though. So thank you so very much to everybody who joined in that game. I would love to do a Fall Guys segment again next time and have, like, actual, like, crowns to award the winners or something. That would be so much fun. But, you know, we started a little bit late, so I think I ended, like, at my end time, which ideally you want to end a little bit early so there's a little bit of cushion for the next block, but, you know, I think we got in, like, we got a decent number of games in, and the game didn't, like, screw up where it just gave, like, 7 rounds to 3 people or something. So I was glad that the game worked in our favor. I had a ton of fun. It was great to see so many familiar usernames in-game playing along with me during that run. So thank you so very much to everybody who joined in on the Fall Guys game, because I had a blast with it. And I was very nervous going into it. So that was really, really fun. And then it was like, it was so surreal. I was so excited too, because beforehand, before that run even started, I knew that my interview was going to be played. So I was very excited because all the interviews were very much just, you know, classic interviews. And then mine was kind of half an interview, half a skit, because it was just me interviewing myself. But I had so much fun putting that together. It was so dumb. Like, I was telling my friends last night, I don't know why I did it this way, but I actually, like, I filmed my reaction, like, before I filmed myself answering the questions, and I'm like, why did I do this the other way? So I could, like, listen and react for the appropriate time. I don't know why I did this in the wrong order, but it actually made it funnier, because then I was just... What I would do is I would turn on Mario Party music and just react to whatever the song was doing. And then I was able to time it. Like, the song would be like 1.5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I need 1.5 minutes of reaction time. And it was so stupid, and it was like, it just made it very random though. Like, so I think it turned out pretty dumb, but pretty funny. So your interview was so funny. Thanks, Weaver. I'm glad you liked it. Cass, it was a great event. It was such a fun weekend. And yeah, Narasonic, there were no pointless rounds in Fall Guys. I'm glad you enjoyed the interview. I was so excited for you guys to see that. And I was kind of coming off of, like, the stream hype, so, like, and I wanted to listen to it at the same time, or going into stream hype, so I couldn't look at what you guys were saying as much as I wanted to. I saw quite a bit of, like, hilarious, like, dialogue in the chat, though, so I need to, like, rewatch the video with the chat, because I was very excited for that. And then I was so excited after that for the blooper reel, because I knew, I didn't tell anybody that I was going to do, like, a blooper reel. I mean, I didn't even know that I would do something like that, because I didn't know that we'd have the content, but we definitely did, and it was hilarious to put that together, and it was just fun to show that side of the filming process for all the interviews, because I was very, very excited to do that with everybody. The bloopers! I felt so bad, too, because I wanted to, like, see it and hear it at the same time as watching the chat, that I just, like, stayed in the broadcast room and listened. And then I just, like, I think Odie had to kick me out of the broadcast room, and normally I would, like, leave and go to the waiting room and say, like, wow, good luck on your runs, guys. Like, have fun. I hope you do a great job, whatever. I just didn't say anything whatsoever to Brudge or K-Man before their, like, final run of Sonic. I didn't say anything to Zabrag. I didn't say anything to... Who was announcing? Well, Bill was in the room, so I guess I did say something to him, but I didn't say anything to anybody who was getting ready to, like, go on their run, and I knew Brudge was really nervous, and I'm like... I guess I just ghosted everybody. I just left and forgot that I had, like... I wanted to say something, but... It was funny. It was great, because I was just happy that everybody liked the bloopers so much. And Cass... Oh, thank you, Cass. Thank you for the bits.
It's not Grip, it's Cogsworth. You idiot.
Thanks, Siri. Also, thank you, Zabrag, for being a champ and letting me pull, you didn't even know that you did this, but for letting me pull from your, iconic moment from last year. Excuse me. Thank you for letting me pull from your iconic moment from last year to put together that skit. So if you didn't understand the skit, is his name Grip skit, I had the dialogue going. That was during Sis16's speedrun of Kingdom Hearts 2 last year, at last year's SGM in October. And when I watched it, I knew exactly what he was talking about, because it shows a meter that says, like, Grip on it, but it showed Cogsworth's face, and I was like, why is it showing it like I even had the same thought process, like, why is it showing it like that? And Odie had to explain, like, no, it's showing, like, this meter, his name isn't on there, but it made it look like his name was Grip, when it was just the Grip meter, whatever that means.
It is silly, it doesn't just say Cogsworth.
It's really dumb that it doesn't say Cogsworth. So it was like, I could full on see where the mistake came from, because it was like, huh? But, it looked like his name. And so, when Odie and I went on our honeymoon we went to Walt Disney World in Florida for our honeymoon after our wedding, I was like, we have one job. I have to film a skit, and because it was the only, like, Disney-related thing that had come out of SGM, I was like, we have to, like, film this stuff with Cogsworth. And they were doing it's the 50th anniversary this year, so they had, like, 50th statues of all the characters around the park, and I was gonna do a video with the 50th statue of Cogsworth in Magic Kingdom, but it was so close to the castle that it was like completely chaotic. There was no way to get like a good video without like 1,000 strollers and families and people in the background. So we ended up on the last night of our honeymoon going into a store. It was on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood Studios, and it was next to the Beauty and the Beast show that we had watched earlier in the week. So like I filmed some of the show to use because that was the only way to see like Cogsworth as a costumed character. So I was like, I filmed part of the show to use for the skit, just to have something, because there was no way to do like a meet and greet or anything like that. And then we went in the shop and like I was like, okay, because originally I was gonna go up and be like, and ask like a character attendant or something and be like, is his name Grip? And then like go into this whole lore of like me remembering what Zabrag had said. But so it turned out a little bit differently than what my vision was, but it was okay because it still worked. So then they had a whole shelf of like Cogsworth clocks for sale in that one store, and I was like, okay, this is it. We have to film the bit right here. So that way it's just like completely, that's what it is. So it was a little bit of, it was fine because it was short and sweet, but it was a little shorter and less explanatory than I had intended, but I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you found it amusing. But yeah, it was super fun to film that and put that together. And Coach and I had another skit idea we were gonna do, but we just didn't have the time to do it. And there was just too much going on when we finally did get together to even think about filming it. So I want to start like working on skits for next time now, so that way I can like film them throughout the year or whatever, or come up with ideas throughout the year and not be like pressed for time or be like, oh, I never actually talked to that person or got together with somebody I needed for that. I want to give a shout out to Snack, who was the only other person that put together a skit alongside me. Because I was like, I don't know, should I still do one? He's like, no, I'm gonna do one, so we can both do one together, and then it'll be more than one. So I was like, okay, good. And shout out to Snack's sister, who had to film that skit. He like put it off forever because he didn't know who was gonna film it. Psycho! Thank you for the bits!
You right finger clenched fist are the shortcake hands clapping one that entered door yourself left finger into hands clapping tears of joy the drawing. Proceeded to tongue out win trophy cool the hands clapping right finger drawing. Then flaunted your right finger crown. Did a hands clapping huge statue.
She just cut it off, then flaunted your right finger crown. Oh my god. Did a huge speech in Old English, then waited a minute, then thanked yourself with 7 exclamation points. No, Siri, go on! Sorry, Siri cut it off, but thank you so much, Psycho. Gotta love the flower crown bit. I love that she just had to spell out all of these emotes. You, point right, fist oncoming are the cake. Clap. What?
Speech prohibited studio microphone in memo index pointing up Old English. Then fearful face waited a light bulb moneybag minute. Alarm clock, then blonde person collision thanked yourself with.
Then blonde person collision? Light bulb moneybag minute. I can't get over that. What? Oh my god. That was hilarious. Then blonde person collision. That's so stupid. I just died in my game room from laughing so hard. Worth. All of these emotes with like she just straight up ghosted this message earlier. This was posted earlier with a bit message, and she just didn't even try. Oh my, that was so funny. Waited a light bulb money bag minute. Alarm clock, then blonde person collision. Thanked yourself with. That was hilarious. Shout out to Snack for the flower crown skit, as well as his sister for filming it. I also want to let you guys know that all of the interviews and the 2 skits will both be on, or both, they will all be on the YouTube channel for Stacked Game Marathon. So if you're not following, or if you're not subscribed to the Stacked Game Marathon YouTube channel already, definitely do so, because all these videos are going to go up as soon as possible. Odie's working on them behind me right now, so they'll be all going up very soon. Again, I want to remind you all that if you did miss any of these runs, because this is going to take us just to the last run of the entire marathon here that I'm about to talk about, but if you missed any of them, I love watching them with the chat on the side, and the chat will not be on the YouTube videos because it's just there was no chat displayed on the video. So if you want to see it with the chat, you'll definitely want to watch back on Twitch. Otherwise, all of those videos will be on the Stacked Game Marathon YouTube channel. But after Fall Guys was the Sonic Adventure 2 battle. This was absolutely fantastic. I thought this was a wonderful, wonderful way to close the marathon. It was between Brudge and K-Man, who had practiced Sonic Adventure 2 like crazy. I know Brudge was really nervous about it, and they both did a fantastic job with it. Zabrag was the co-commentator, and Bill was the announcer. We could hear him across the hall, like in the other room, like yelling and going crazy when he was announcing it. It was the first time the entire weekend where we had the entire space to ourselves. So it was really, we were able to catch that run so much better than some of the other runs because it was literally just us in the lab. And by us, I mean it was me, Odie, Jambi, who's the head of Stream for a Cause, Mintius, who also works with Stream for a Cause, and... Oh, girl!
I don't know what
Adam is cool 24 gifting us up to Cute Skitty 17. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. It was us 4 and Scooter, Praise Scooter, so the 5 of us. We're all in the lab just watching on the big TV and listening and chatting and everything, and then Bill was announcing in the other room. So Adam is cool. Thank you so much for the gift sub and welcome to the chat and the stream. Oh gosh, actually you want some inside scoop? I do. You know I do. Yes, oh my god!
I don't know what to think about that.
Thank you so much!
Points, but they're not your average points.
Thank you so much for helping me to get to that 150 sub goal. Thank you so much for the 7 gift subs. I don't know why the gift sub alert isn't happening and it's doing all the individual ones.
But they're not your average points.
But thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of alerts right now. Adam is cool. Thank you so much.
I'm into the points, but they're not your average points.
Wow. And then Prince Hedgehog just lots of legs after that. Thank you so much for all the gift subs. So we've got Alien Cows, Nagisa,
I'm into the points, but they're not your average points.
Sonic, hold on, Silent Cannon, Wolf Kaminari, Kyolo, Clover, I don't know if I said that right, Mr. Raichu Dude.
I'm into the
Thank
points,
you so much.
but they're not your average points.
I'll continue on in just a second. I'm scrolling back again. I do have like a gift sub alert, but it just like didn't do it for some reason. So we're seeing all of these individually. We're all so bashful. It was such a good run and perfect finale. It really was.
No hands, no hats. I don't know what to think about that.
I'm into the points, but they're not your average points.
Oh my god. K-Man was the one who was nervous right before it started.
Hey, I'm Dina. Stand up straight.
What the heck is
stand
this?
up
I don't know why
straight.
it's
You know
showing
what? I'm
literally
stand
every
up straight.
alert
You want to do
onto
hip hop?
my
You got
channel.
to stand like this. Start out just
Here it is, the brag. Here's
Hitting
your
it.
practice for
Hitting
next
it.
time, next year.
I'll give him a bye. Peace. I'm out.
There you go. Thank you so much, Cass. Big appreciate.
Lots of legs, leg, mechanical leg, leg, mechanical leg, leg, mechanical leg.
Well, sweet. Well, thanks for all the legs. A big appreciate. So K-Man was the one who was nervous right before it started. Brudge came into the waiting room like, yeah, I'm so ready for this. What? The lore? Oh, man. So, from my understanding then, Brudge was really nervous leading up to it, and then K-Man did the classic what I do of the like, oh my god, I'm about to go live jitters, where you forget everything and you're super nervous for whatever reason. Oh my goodness, so tracking the time penalties for Sonic Adventure 2 was probably one of my highlights of the marathon. It was so much fun to watch the back and forth and save Brudge in real time, and of course, the back-end knowledge let me get to play Agent of Chaos a bit. That was fantastic. You were great, Weaver. I love I'm out. Shout out to Dina. Seriously. I don't even know. Oh, I did give Boz. So, we gotta give some credit to Jambi, because he had this idea on Saturday night, which was the night before the finale. He had this idea and was like, hey, you know what would be something great to add to the finale of this would be if we did like a time penalty incentive that was just like to add to their actual final game time. So like for every $1 we add a second. And Odie was really nervous that K-Man and Brudge weren't going to go for it. They were going to be like, no, because he knew they had practiced really hard on it. So he was like really nervous that they were going to be like, I don't really want to do that, or I don't think it'll be funny. But it ended up being, they were both on board, and it ended up being so worth it. And it was so much fun. And originally I was going to try and help K-Man win, just because he was clearly like the one that everybody was targeting. But then after the Mario Party run, where it was so stupid, it was Slim, Kirby, Power Mario, and myself. They were like, okay, we have to be in an alliance just against K-Man so that he doesn't win, which was just stupid. They both donated against him, and I'm like, oh, man, I have to continue the bit with the alliance. So I ended up having to try and help Will, and I think that's where I put like save Brudge, and it auto-corrected to save Bulge. So I didn't do anybody any favors. I just ended up calling Will a Bulge, and it didn't matter anyway, because K-Man still won regardless of true time or added time. K-Man and his infamous list of those who wronged him. Yeah, his hit list. Oh, I just realized we had another hype train, too. I didn't even notice. Thank you so much for the hype train, guys. We need to get Dina in on the next SGM. Let's go. She retired from her old job where I met her, so who knows? She could do a dance segment. She could do a hip-hop class. It was such a good incentive idea for that run. I agree. I thought it was fantastic. The Alliance comes back! It did. It definitely came back. That was so much fun to watch, though. It was such a good finale, and they played off of each other so well, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was so much fun to watch, and such a great way to close the marathon. It was like high energy, and I was asking Scooter, who was in the room with me, I'm like, is this the game that has the song? Like the Sonic song that I love the meme from? We actually had it on our wedding playlist to play at our reception, the Live and Learn, because I love the Giva Sunner bit. I was introduced to this over Christmas of the, you guys know if you've been around for a while, when you feel that moving through your mind, ooh, and it just goes on forever. That's my favorite Giva Sunner ever. Like, that's my favorite song that they've ever ruined. And I'm like, is it in this one? And Scooter's like, yeah, it's at the end. I was like, yes! So, I just was spamming just a million O's in the chat for the ooh, and I did in my final donation of the weekend, Bill was reading, I just heard him singing it in the other room, and then just ooh, echoing forever. You could just hear him yodeling in the other room, all of the continued ooh, and I'm pretty sure even, like, he cut his mic and he kept going, and it was so funny, it was so dumb, and it was so perfect. So I was big excited that song was in it, and it was, of course, like, the finale song, so it was great. The Not the same song, but my sister and I had City Escape come on during our drive home from Texas this morning. All the Sonic songs hit so hard. But that one's my favorite because of the Give a Son a Rip. It's so funny. So that kind of circles back to where I started, saying that I'm so sorry for all the incredibly dumb typos that I presented at SGM, or at the finale of SGM, because I was forced to go on my phone, which loved to say all of the wrong words when I was trying to type. As soon as K-Man joined in, I was like, man, now I have to join in. Oh, you guys, it was great. It was so great. All of you just putting on a concert at the end of the weekend was fantastic. Thank you, Cass, for the hydrate. I couldn't, belt it out because the rest of my household was asleep. Just the, gentle singing of that song, which doesn't really work. It's like singing the Pokemon theme quietly. There's no great way to do this. But you make it work. Oh my god. So, that kind of circles right back to where we kind of started this whole conversation. The marathon closing was basically just Odie giving all the thank yous and us popping into the camera and forgetting everything we were going to say and everything we were going to thank everybody for. But I just want to say I love all of you so much, all of the runners, everybody involved behind the scenes, and all of you who were viewing in the audience and donating and making it so incredibly successful. Excuse me. We had originally started with a $15,000 goal, and we ended up lowering it to $10,000 because, we kind of had to put in all the factors. We didn't have as much prep time for this SGM. I think it was still incredible regardless. It was a huge success regardless. Even if we raised $100, it was an incredibly successful event. But we raised close to $10,000. We almost met that new $10,000 goal. And we had factored in all the details. I know cost of we know, all of us know, cost of living is more expensive now. There's kind of a recession going on. No one's just at home in quarantine all the time anymore because it's not the same COVID dynamic that we're living in as the first SGM, and all those factors play a part. So the fact that we raised almost $10,000 with all of these factors, it's getting closer to the holidays and everything too, absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, everybody. And no donation is too small. It all adds up at the end of the day. I think literally hundreds of dollars were raised in that last segment alone. And they were for the most part, they were all small amounts too. It just goes to show every little bit helps. And even just spreading the word, and not even if you can't donate anything, just being in the chat and watching and donating your time to just add positivity and this great atmosphere to the event is so important. So thank you so much to everybody who showed up, especially from my community. I love you all, and it was wonderful to see all of your names in chat. And it was during my runs, I wish I could have talked to everybody or addressed everybody more directly. It's just the nature of the event. It's hard to do that sometimes, especially when you're pressed for time, because there's so much going into it. But I loved seeing all of you there. Thank you so much for being there for this cause. And again, I know it can be a little bit confusing when we say we're raising money for Stream for a Cause, and you're I don't really know what that means. What does Stream for a Cause do? They work with grassroots and small nonprofit organizations that don't get the attention of the larger huge organizations. I love my St. Jude streams that I do, and for the most part, everybody knows what St. Jude's Children's Hospital is. They know what they do. They know where their leadership is. The first SGM we ever did was to raise money for Breast Cancer Research Center? No, Foundation. Breast Cancer Research Foundation. I was that's the wrong acronym. And that's very obvious. Okay, they give money to breast cancer research, But Stream for a Cause works with those smaller names that if you just, say it, you might not know what they do, but those are so important because those are the smaller organizations that communities directly pull from to help those who are not like affiliated with the larger the masses, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that's why we have worked with Stream for a Cause to get kind of like the smaller crowds, the lesser known like voices, to make them louder, if for lack of a better way of describing that. But it just like goes to show, you know, how many game systems can $10,000 buy for children battling life-threatening diseases in hospitals? That's where all the money directly went to. That's what we were working with. That's what Charity Gaming does, who is the direct cause being worked with through Stream for a Cause. So like, I know it can be a little confusing to know where your money is going and what that charity dollar means, because it is kind of like working with a middleman, but it's also like incredibly important and rewarding all the same, because it's smaller, is what I'm trying to say. So, you know, it's great to see the support come out for those smaller organizations. But SGM was a blast. It definitely made my weekend. Mine too. It was fantastic. Regardless if the goal wasn't met, children will still get something to make themselves feel like children. Money was raised, and it's going to a good cause. Exactly. And we were like very short, or like not very short, very close to that $10,000 goal. Very little short of that goal is what I'm trying to say. Watching the marathon and sharing it goes such a long way for support. Absolutely. Like, that is the number one thing you can do, is just like watch and be involved in the marathon. Like, it doesn't always take money. Like, yes, at the end of the day we're raising money for XYZ, but like it doesn't mean anything without the community there. Like, it doesn't have the heart behind it without the community there. So Stream for a Cause also puts more toward local communities and smaller organizations, which is just as important. Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. I don't know if I said it as eloquently as Toad did, so thank you for that. But you know, sometimes there's something to be said for the masses and the very well-known organizations, and there's something to be said for the smaller, lesser known organizations that are doing more of an intimate practice, if you catch my drift, you know. So it all helps so much in any way, shape, or form of donating your time or actually making a financial donation. It all just helps so much and makes such a difference for so many people. And it's all through gaming. It's all through something that's so much fun that we all love to do, and you know, that we're all passionate about. So I'm very grateful to all of you for making SGM what it was. I definitely got some con withdrawal despite having no idea what a con is like. It was like that though. Like, I always have to have like a good cry after one of these, and have to get a little dramatic just like by myself, just over like, again, I'm a very like sentimental person, and I'm very cheesy when it comes to stuff like this, just by nature. Like, I just love any kind of celebration, like anything that feels like a holiday, which is kind of what SGM feels like for me. I just love, and I have so much fun with it, and I get depressed like afterward and have to get distracted. And so it was great to stream and just talk and share my thoughts, and also be able to share with you guys some of the behind the scenes info and talk with Odie directly about everything that was going on that you guys didn't see. That's just kind of fun to share. You know, because so oftentimes you see like a big event happen, and it's like, I wonder how they did that, and like you never really know what went on behind the scenes. But I really like to talk about the behind the scenes stuff, because I think it's really important, and it's like, it's good to have an idea of like how things work, I think, sometimes as a viewer, because you just are curious about it to begin with. If we ever do an in-person SGM, there will be so much crying. I will be so emotional. I mean, that's what the goal is, Foo. So you're in for a trip. You're in for a trip down the waterfall. But yeah, it's just like, that is the goal. That's the one thing that I kept like envisioning. This is so cheesy, but I kept like envisioning and like thinking like, oh my god, this is gonna be so good, is when we were in that computer lab, like, I wished so much that all of the students that were in there were actually, like, my friends, and the group of which puts this on and works together to make SGM happen. It's like, oh my god, if all of them were at one of these computers right now, I would just be like, I would be in a surreal cloud of just like, oh, where am I? What happened? It would be so much fun. But, well, hi chat, hi NAF, and the Nick City, welcome. Loved all the interviews. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you liked the interviews, because I had such a fun time putting those together. But it was so much fun. I enjoyed everything about putting this on for a third time. And also just kind of the experiment of doing this in person was so much fun. So that's what I'm trying to say is, like, I can't wait until this, like, continues. The evolution of this continues and we just are able to put this on in person. But I love it. I love it so much. We all wanted to be there. I know you were all there in spirit, and honestly, we wanted all of you to be there. It was just like not, this time was obviously the trial period, so it wasn't an option, unfortunately. I wish it would have been, but it just was like, oh, this is what we're doing, and we're gonna see how this goes, and I think we have a better idea now, and we can really go from there. So, I plan to be much more involved next time regardless. Well, we love you, Fu, and we love everybody who's involved, no matter how much or how little. I know, right? Like, I'm the same way, Weaver. Like, I'm so proud of how much SGM has grown in just a year and a half. Like, it feels like we've been doing this for like 10 years, and I guess we've been online for like that long technically, or longer, but a lot of us, but it's just like, it feels like this has been going on a lot longer than it really has been. So to think of the actual time is like, wow. Seriously. I literally left the stream on the whole weekend, even if I wasn't watching. You guys did such a great job. Thank you so much. Oh, I think we were all with you on that too. Like, it was just, I had the same vibe of like when it was over. I'm like, oh, I went to the channel and nothing is live. Like, no one is streaming right now. Then I look on Discord and I'm like, no one's in the waiting room or like in the stream room right now. This is so lonely. Like, no. It's just so much fun, and it's very comforting just knowing something is going on. Even when you're going to bed, you're like, okay, they're still live, I'm good. Like, I don't know what that is, but that's definitely the feels for me. It feels like the first SGM was like 5 years ago, and it was last March. Like, it wasn't even that long ago. How did it happen? So I'm gonna go ahead and share the SGM link tree one more time. I'm gonna start wrapping up here because I could just go on forever talking about the sentiment of it all for me and for everybody. But be sure to follow the Twitch channel. There is more content coming to the Twitch channel throughout the year. Until next time, be sure to follow and subscribe to, I guess following's not really a thing. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can catch all of the VODs after the fact. So, you know, Twitch has their own system for things, but the videos will be on YouTube after or prior to whatever Twitch does with them, or however they get deleted off of Twitch eventually. So, like, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can watch all the VODs of anything that you missed. All of the interviews and all that's going to be on there because those were not part of a run anyway, so that's going to be the way to catch those if you missed anybody's interview, because whether you were asleep day or night, there were interviews that played all throughout the marathon at all hours. So I know that I didn't see all of them. I mean, I did because I put them together, but I know that probably there was nobody that saw every single one of them. So those will all be up on the YouTube channel as well as the skits. And wait, Vovo, inquiring minds need to know, what's your favorite thing about Plankton? Well, Nav, I will say my favorite part of the game that you... First of all, this was a Bobo game. I was like, I would really enjoy this game that Nav is playing right now. Second, I really enjoyed the Mario Bandstand kind of segment. And I can't even remember what Plankton's instrument was, because I'm pretty sure I walked into that clarinet solo that was like going hard, and that would have been Squidward. So it's like, This hardcore clarinet. I don't remember what Plankton played. What's my favorite thing about Plankton? I don't know, that he has one eye. That's probably not even what you're asking. I don't know. I'm doing a game I've wanted to learn for a long time next time. Do it, do it, do it, do it. I have, Odie and I have a couple ideas up our sleeves for what we want to do next time. And I definitely want to do Mario 3 after practicing next time. Anyway. Oh, Plankton played the keyboard. What hype? Solid answer. Oh no! I missed lights, camera, pants. See, typos. This is the non-autocorrect life. Yeah, thanks. I want to give a special thanks and shout out to my autocorrect that kept me looking like an idiot the entire weekend. So thank you for that. Thank you, Narusonic. Big appreciate. You guys, I need to close out with some more hype. Actually, I'm gonna share Odie's channel as well. I'm just a poor bulge. I tried to sing it in person, but Odie was like, no, you can't. You can't. I want to remind you all that if you want some hype to look forward to, less than a week from now, next Monday, this coming Monday, October 31st, is Halloween. I will be doing my annual Halloween stream. It is the 13th annual Halloween stream that I will be doing online. So it's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern. It will be backed up to YouTube for anybody who can't make it, because I know that is maybe not the most time zone friendly time, but it will be the traditional 50-turn game of Horrorland from Mario Party 2. That will be this coming Monday, Halloween, October 31st, 2022. And I'm really looking forward to it. So definitely mark your calendars. I also have the Etsy collection available. And thank you so much to everybody who has picked up a piece of that collection. I think I have 7 of the 13 left. 6 or 7 of the 13 members of that collection left. So if there's somebody you've had your eye on that you want to pick up in time for the spooky stream, definitely do so. Give us an SGM quote before you go. Oh, man. Oh, I gotta give one from behind the scenes that was so... I was laughing so hard at this. Like, I was in tears practically laughing at this. It was when... it was during the finale. It was during the Sonic Adventure 2 race between K-Man and Brudge. Scooter was my commentator behind me as I was typing things and watching on the computer. He was behind me with, like, the funniest commentary. And he kept coming up with bits for the Save Brudge / Save Bulge incentive, because Will was losing. And he kept, like, it was at one point in time, people kept donating to add time to Brudge's final time. And so then it was like, oh no, we need to save him. And Scooter went into this entire, like, commercial of, like, for just pennies a day, you can change Brudge's life. You can save his world. You like on the old school, like, pennies a day, save lives and whatever. He just turned it all into saving Brudge during this Sonic Adventure 2 race. And I was like, this commercial I'm hearing over my shoulder right now is so ridiculous. I was laughing so hard. It was so funny. He did. He pulled a Gerber life on me, for sure. So he definitely pulled a Gerber life for Brudge, and it was hilarious. And I don't think I ever typed it in, like, chat, or that it was ever said in, like, a donation message. I should have, but it was so funny behind the scenes. So you guys... That was SGM. I know I'll probably have more to even share, like, in future streams, because as I remember even more of what happened. Oh, I have some serious tea too. Here's the tea. So I told you we were surrounded by college students, which college students in my mind are, like, my same age, but they're actually not. They're like 12 to... Your average college student, if we say they're 18 to 22, like they went right to college out of high school, they are 10 to 14 years younger than me. So I was shook. Wait, 10 to 14? Yes. I was a little shook. I went into the streaming room, like, that they had set up for the college, and all these kids were sitting, like, screaming at this TV, like, ah! And I'm like, what is going on in here? And they were like, we're playing on, the system, the N64. And I'm like, okay. I was like, you're playing an N64? They're like, we've never played one before. And I was just like, what? You've never played on an N64 before? And they were playing Mario Party 2. And they had never played Mario Party 2 or an N64 before. And they couldn't figure out, they kept button mashing and going to Rules Land. And they were like, this one won't let us do anything. How do we get out of this? And they didn't realize there was a reset button on the N64. So they went through the whole tutorial twice. I didn't have the heart to tell them, like, just push that button. Push the button. It'll reset it. Like, you just push the button and it reset. They went through the whole Rules Land tutorial twice because they couldn't figure out how to get out of it. It hurts. And I'm like, listen, my first console was an NES, and that was in the 80s, and I was born in 90s, so there's no excuse for this right now. I'm sorry, but no, there is no excuse. It was so ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no. So, they didn't ever, I don't know that they ever really realized there's a reset button or what that means or what that does, but it was a time. And then I heard them out there again later, and I heard one of them go, Conquer, like, from the game. And I'm like, Conquer from the game. And I'm like, oh, are they playing Diddy Kong Racing? Like, I just started playing this, and I ran out there, and sure enough, they were. So they were learning how to N64 over the weekend, which was both tragic and fascinating at the same time. You know, never having played Mario Party 2 is bad enough, but never having played an N64 console was, like, where I died. Insane. Insane. I don't think they played Mickey Speedway USA. I never heard or saw that. I think they only played Mario Party 2 and Diddy Kong Racing. I think those were the only two games they played over the weekend. Oh my god. I hate children. Nap. Oh my gosh. I really do need to get going here, you guys, though. I love you all so much. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my credits so that I can credit everybody who's been so generous on my channel today. And the next time I'm streaming will be Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be Friday Night Mario Party 3. I love Mario Party 3. We love Mario Party 3. And it's going to be it'll be the last Mario Party stream before the annual Halloween stream, which is my favorite stream of the entire year. So definitely check that out, and let's get these credits rolling with this really emotional sounding music. Thank you all so much for your hype and for listening to me gab on and on about SGM today. Thank you, Psycho, for the song. And thank you, Scottman, Psycho, Casanova, and Prince Hedgehog for all the bits. Thank you to Zabrag, Little Foo, and Pixie for being here as mods. Thank you to Prince Hedgehog, Bowie, Narusonic, Power to Mario, Zabrag, Phoenix Warriors, Cute Skitty, Kyo Lover, Mr. Raichu, Sonic, Nagisa, Alien, Wolf Kaminari, and Sile, Silent, can't read. And thank you to Old School Matt for the raid. Oh, there he is, there's Big Odie!
Ooh, snuck in, scared ya!
Oh my god. But thank you guys for all the subs, resubs, and gift subs. Thank you to Casanova for all the gift subs earlier. We also had a gift sub from, I gotta look at the name, Adam is Cool. Thank you so much, Adam. Oh my god, yes, I'm still listening. Sorry. Yeah, the gamer behind.
Earlier. I wanted to say bye.
Yeah, but in your interview, I was like, the gamer behind the Stat Game Marathon. Well, there he is.
Thanks.
There we go. I'll get you more in screen here. The jump scare, yeah. But thank you so much for listening to me gab on about SGM and Odin 2. I know I did more gabbing than he did, but we love you guys. Thank you again for all of your support. It's been an incredible weekend, and I'm having a hard time like even saying like bye now because I don't want to stop talking about it. But I know we'll talk about it more this weekend. I will be live on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern with Mario Party 3. I'll probably be playing Disney Dreamlight Valley on Saturday. So if you want a nice chill stream, come check that out on Saturday. Or actually, no. I think we might be doing a pumpkin carving stream on Saturday. If that doesn't work out, I'll play Disney Dreamlight Valley. But otherwise, I think we're doing a pumpkin carving stream on Saturday. So that'll be a lot of fun.
I think I remember you saying this, but
Yeah.
I'm just re-remembering now, so...
Well, there you go. We love you guys so much. And I would raid, but we actually have to get going here. So I'm going to just close it out here. All the love to all of you. I will see you this weekend, hopefully. And if not, please come to my Halloween stream on Monday. It's an hour later. Well, actually, it's not an hour later than my normal stream time because I stream in the afternoon typically on Monday. I will not be streaming in the afternoon on Monday. I'll just be streaming that night for Halloween. So I love you all. We love you all. Thank you so much for making SGM incredible. And we will see you next time. Bye.